Well, Ty and Ron have definitely taken it to the street, not just the street, but to the highway. They're in Albuquerque as Hobbs will face Cleveland. And of course, you can listen to that right here. Pregame starts at 6:45, and then of course you can go to our YouTube channel or just access it through hobbsamerica.com and find that Hobbs Sports YouTube channel and enjoy that game. Now, I do want you guys to remember that we will not be airing, nor will we be showing that soccer game tomorrow. So a lot of you have been following the Hobbs boys soccer team. However, we won't have that on the radio, nor will we have video of that, because where it's at, there, are some rules and regulations that, of course, allow us not to be there. But we do want to let you know that you can look for updates on our Facebook page. Okay, so that's all our sister stations, KOOL, KZOR, Kicks, Eagle, and KPASA. So look forward to that if you're interested on our Facebook page. So we're out of here. That's enough for us on a Friday night. I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. I'll be back with you tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. right here on KOOL 95.7. Good luck to our Hobbs Eagles.
Dear Sharp Turns, don't spin your wheels. Toyota has more all-wheel drive sedans than any other brand, so you can bet your bottom dollar that we're sharper than ever. 'Cause we got traction, baby. Get a grip in the Camry all-wheel drive. Stay the course with the sleek Corolla, or turn up the traction in the elegant Crown. Check them out at Toyota.com.
Visit Permian Toyota in Hobbs today. Toyota, let's go places.
Honey, what are you doing? It's 4 a.m.
Well, I'm making a big breakfast for you and the kids. We got to get going this morning. It's a long drive to Midland Airport.
I booked our flights out of our airport here in Hobbs. It's in town, not in Texas.
Well, you want some toast?
Is that strawberry?
Organic boysenberry.
I'm going back to bed.
Love you.
Flying in and out of Hobbs gives you more time and less stress. So when it's time to fly, you gotta fly Hobbs.
Hey, this is Big Ben, and I wanted to let you guys know that due to current local weather conditions, Permian Chevy Buick GMC Nissan is having a hail sale. I know what you guys are thinking. Hail yes! Mother Nature wins again. And you can save thousands on over 250 brand new and pre-owned vehicles in stock. These deals are going to be on a first-come, first-served basis, so you got to act quick. Huge savings? Hail yes! Giant selection? Hail yes! If you have credit issues, can we help? Hail yes! Did I mention if you have a vehicle you'd rather not be driving? Do we want to buy your car? Hell yes! All trade-ins are welcome during this event. So if you want to take advantage of the sale, take advantage of the inventory, and take advantage of the opportunity, you got to get down to Permian Chevy Buick GMC Nissan now. Need more? How about no payments until January 2024? That's right. Get the car you need and save some extra cash for the holidays with no car payments. It's a hail sale going on now. Come shop and save at Permian Chevy Buick GMC Nissan, 701 West Navajo Drive in Hobbs.
Our lives run on energy every day. And every day, your friends and neighbors at New Mexico Gas Company safely deliver reliable, affordable, essential energy to New Mexicans. The kind of energy that brings families together, that surrounds us in comfort. The energy that warms homes and hearts. We're New Mexico Gas Company, and every day we deliver the energy that's behind some of the warmest moments in your life. That's why we're here.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-8695. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-8695. That's 800-575-8695. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
KOOL 95.7, your home for Hobbs Eagle Playoff football. The Eagles head to Rio Rancho, Cleveland on Friday night to take on the Storm. Join Ty Friend and Ron Gunter beginning at 6:45 Friday night for the Eagle pregame show, the kickoff at 7 o'clock. Hobbs Playoff football is brought to you by IPS, Lee County State Bank, TDS, Forest Tire Company, R360, the Norley Hospital District, and Lasco Construction. Eagle Playoff football on KOOL 95.7 also brought to you by RMS Foods, Thriftway, Robinson & Associates Real Estate, Eunice Pump and Supply, Hobbs Rental, Albertsons Market, the Outlaw Grill, Excel Energy, and New Mexico Junior College. It's the Eagles and the Storm, live Friday night from Rio Rancho. Due to NMAA media rights regulations, we are not allowed to live video stream the game, but you'll be able to hear all the action and see the live scoreboard at HobbsAmerica.com and the Hobbs Sports YouTube channel, and listen live on the KOOL 95.7 app and right here on your radio home for Hobbs Sports, KOOL 95.7. Football on KLEA Hobbs Lovington, KOOL 95.7. It's time for Hobbs Eagle football on KOOL 95.7, the KOOL 95.7 app, the Hobbs Sports YouTube channel, and HobbsAmerica.com. Tonight's game is brought to you by Divine Energy Services, the First American Bank of Hobbs, Lasco Construction, A-Tech Air Conditioning and Heating, and Forest Tire. Hobbs Eagle football is also brought to you by TDS, the Lee County State Bank, NMR Pipeline, Devon Energy, and Eastern New Mexico University. Now, let's take you live to the stadium with Ron Gunter and the voice of the Hobbs Eagles, Ty Friend. It's Hobbs Eagle football on KOOL 95.7, the KOOL 95.7 app, HobbsAmerica.com, and the Hobbs Sports YouTube channel.
Oh, it's time for quarterfinal playoff football with your Hobbs Eagles taking on the number one team in the state, the Cleveland Storm. Ty Friend, Ron Gunter with you. Tiffany Stuber back at the station tonight. And Ron, big battle for the Hobbs Eagles. They've played this team about 3 other times in the playoffs. They haven't got a chance to get a W yet, but this is the big game for them with a big win over Clovis last week, 50-13, a Mercy Rule victory. The Hobbs Eagles rolling in that one at home. Held Clovis 0 for 6 in the passing game and only 239 total yards all on the ground for the Wildcats in that loss for them, put them out of the season. So the Hobbs Eagles excited for this game. Played at this field earlier this season against Rio Rancho when that game was moved, a homecoming affair at Rio Rancho High School, moved here. Hobbs came up with an upset, winning by very few points, single digits of 24-21. So big win for them in that situation. And now they'd like to be a spoiler again and go 2-0 in Rio Rancho.
Exactly. And, you know, nothing would be a bigger spoiler than defeating a champion that's been 3 out of the 4 years, you know, because of COVID. There wasn't one in 2020. But, yeah, I mean, they have faced this team that has been number one several times in playoffs, as you mentioned, have lost rather badly. But this time around, there's a lot of things that have been different. Hobbs is hitting on all cylinders, all facets of the game, both offensively, defensively, as well as on their special teams. And Cleveland actually has lost a game that we watched. It was against Artesia. That's something that we were hoping that Hobbs would be able to manifest and duplicate as well. You know, so it took us 50 years to get 4 victories against Clovis, and I think we're set, especially since we've already won a game here. It wasn't against Cleveland, unfortunately, but it was against Rio Rancho. So we have had a taste of victory here at the Lightning Bolt Stadium. So we're going to see if that transfers over to tonight.
And surprisingly, this Cleveland team has lost 2 home games out of their 3 losses this season. Lost to Amarillo High School 28-27, and Friendship shut them out here in Rio Rancho 35-0. So definitely some big wins for road teams from Texas. That's a Lone Star State, though. Of course, you mentioned the Artesia game. That was a road game for Cleveland, 36-34 the final. I think kind of the surprising numbers there, if you look at the passing game that Cleveland had in those 3 losses, their only 3 losses of the season, they were 22 of 49 for 44%, so under 50% passing completion. They're not known as a dominant passing team per se, but if the Eagles can somehow get them into more of a passing game by being behind possibly, which is pretty tough order, that might be a good complexion, especially with the cold temperatures we have here tonight.
Exactly, and that is a possibility for both sides. Like you said, the cold weather may be a factor. There's no wind, luckily, but gripping the ball and be able to hold it, of course, you know, if you throw it fast enough and hard enough, it is hard to catch, especially when it's cold, and the cold does affect the weight of the ball just a little bit. So there's a possibility that we'll be seeing a lot of quick running. Of course, for Hobbs, they need to run on the outside and be able to avoid some of those tackles, because Cleveland pretty much lines up 3 in the front and the rest in the back, and they're set up for runs mostly. But I would like to see some, of course, select passing from Hobbs, kind of break up the monotony and kind of confuse the defense for Cleveland as well.
Although the running game pretty good last week against Clovis. Hobbs at 254 yards on the ground. Of course, Saul Armendariz, he was the predominant numbers there. Triple digits, 168 yards on 10 carries, averaging 16.8 a pop. Hit a long of 44 and 3 rushing touchdowns. Of course, the problem with him is though everybody in the state's got the radar on him.
Right.
He's got a couple other backs that have been worked in the last couple of weeks, but he's definitely a guy that the Eagles are going to use predominantly in the running game. Of course, Callaway can move around a little bit too, so that's a good kind of a big kid too. He's going to take down people with him. So getting some more of those backs inserted so everybody's not just going in on the radar on Armendariz is going to be important in this game.
Right. With 8 backs in the backfield for Cleveland, it's going to be rather difficult for him to find a target. Not saying he can't. Callaway is good at keeping the ball moving, being able to avoid a tackle, and being able to find his open receiver and get it down there. That's one of the reasons why we are here today.
And almost perfect last week in the passing game. Callaway 10 of 11 for 90% of that game, 187 yards, just shy of the 200 mark. Hobbs at 441 of total yards last week compared to 239 for Clovis. We already mentioned they shut out their passing game 0 for 6. They did manage 239 on the ground in Clovis, but that's their bread and butter basically is the running game, at least this year. And they didn't have a very good year in the state of New Mexico, although they did make the playoffs, so we got to give them credit for district championship. Exactly. Very weak district, though. That's the difference in the situation. But, Callaway can, as you mentioned, hit some of those receivers. We've got some great guys out there that know how to catch the football for Hobbs. Of course, Jeremiah Hawkes, 4 catches, 111 yards against Clovis. He did have a touchdown in that one. Isaiah Rodriguez, 2 for 69. Now, Isaiah is kind of coming in and out of the stats seems like every other game. You have a big breakout game and then maybe one, but they're usually big catches. They're not just little short stuff. He's going for the big stuff. So he had 2 catches, 69 yards, 2 touchdowns against Clovis, and then Deshaun Franklin went deep for 67 and a TD. Hobbs had 1 TD called back for a long ball also. So Callaway had lots of targets, and if he can use them plus Armendariz in the back in the running game, that's some good dimensions to have. Make Cleveland kind of mess around a little bit, have to decide what to do, not just say, hey, we're going to go after Armendariz, that's it.
Exactly. And, I've seen this against Cleveland against Artesia, where Artesia was set back. He was roaming around trying to find an open receiver. He was doing plenty of them against this Cleveland team, who was basically using a zone against him, was able to get some major yardage in the passing, not so much in the running for him in the first half. In the second half, it was Cleveland. They came out with a quick no-huddle offense, was also running more than they were passing, and was able to move the ball down the field. So you may think about that as far as if they are somewhere behind in the first half. Cleveland's going to come back and try to get some quick scores on the feet as quickly as they can, as they've done in the past.
How about Cameron Hernandez, the linebacker for the Hobbs Eagles? 6.5 sacks this season. He had 3 versus Clovis. He needs 1 more for the school record. Hobbs definitely's got to utilize their linebacking core in shutting down the Cleveland offense.
And speaking of that, Zayden McPherson is in the lineup. He's been gone for the last 2 weeks. He is a key factor also in the defense. I think he's going to help him, of course, Hernandez get that record as well as get a couple more sacks for the Hobbs Eagles.
Hobbs with 17 sacks this season. Definitely need to utilize those numbers in this game, get some guys through the line of scrimmage and put some pressure on that Cleveland backfield. Currently, the stats in terms of their offenses right now, Hobbs at 3,863 yards. 1,846 in the run. In the past, they're 2017, so a little bit more yards in the passing game. Cleveland with only 3,055 yards, 1,786 run, and 1,269 pass, so more predominant in the running game for them. Getting ready for the national anthem here at the Lightning Bolt Stadium in Rio Rancho. The Hobbs Eagles taking on #1 Cleveland. We will take a 90-second break and come back with the Hobbs Eagle pregame show on KOOL 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and the KOOL 95.7 Facebook page.
We know that you want to make the most out of your time. At Lee County State Bank, we believe banking should be quick and easy. That's why we're proud to provide video banking to our customers. Save time and a trip to the bank and meet with a video banker instead. Getting started is easy. Download the LCSB Connect app, create a profile, bank from anywhere. Not a customer yet? No problem. You can use a video banking app to open an account too. Download the app today and start banking from anywhere.
Visit onlinelcsb.com. Lee County State Bank, member FDIC.
TDS Internet makes our everyday smarter, whether working and playing, laughing and sharing, living and learning. It's all better with TDS Internet because it's faster, more reliable. It's internet that makes a difference. For home, for business, for life. Say hello to internet that hits different. Say hello to TDS. Visit hellotds.com today. Subject to availability, see website for details.
Congratulations, students and student athletes of Lee County. R360 congratulates all Jow, Eunice, Hobbs, Lovington, Tatum, and the surrounding high schools, and wishes the best of luck to our student athletes competing this week in state students. This community message is brought to you by R360.
Lasco Construction is a proud partner in education in Lee County. Lasco Construction is your hometown construction company. Lasco Construction encourages you and business owners to support Tatum, Jow, Lovington, Eunice, and Hobbs businesses. Buy as much as you can locally, which is why Lasco Construction always supports the youth of Lee County. Lasco Construction supports you. Call 393-9161 for all your construction needs. Support your community.
The people who care at RMS Foods Incorporated in Hobbs would like to take this special time out to recognize and salute the men and women in uniform who are standing tall for our political and economic freedom around the globe. Let's remember them in our thoughts, prayers, and letters from home. That's from RMS Foods Incorporated, where they say service isn't just a courtesy, it's a commitment. For more information, call 575-397-1908. That's 575-397-1908 for RMS Foods Incorporated at 817 North Grimes Street in Hobbs.
Back live here in Rio Rancho, the national anthem just ending here at the Lightning Bolt Stadium. The Cleveland Storm getting ready to host your Hobbs Eagles. First time this season these two teams have faced each other. Of course, the Eagles came up here and beat Rio Rancho, their arch rival. Rio Rancho was second in the district behind Cleveland last week. A shutout win for the Cleveland Storm at 37-0 in that contest, and big production for the Cleveland Storm in that game. They definitely are running all over the place in that contest. 167 yards. Harris Buhay with 125 yards rushing for the Storm. His long was 32 and had a couple of touchdowns. I don't want to say that was his best game of the season. It's against an arch rival. It's always tough to get the big numbers, but triple digits regardless for him in that game. Cleveland did pass for 220 yards in that contest, though, so definitely get some receivers involved. Jaden Davis, their senior, 141 yards on 7 receptions, averaging 20 a catch and a long of 51 and a touchdown. So Hobbs have to watch out for Davis. He's one of their top receivers. But total with Cleveland on the offense in that game, they finished up with 387 against the Rio Rancho team. Hobbs, in terms of their offense, when they played Rio Rancho, only had 219 yards in their contest against Rio Rancho. So it was a little bit more of a back-and-forth battle the first time when the Hobbs did play Rio Rancho. Kind of a tough game. Both teams are trying to get themselves on track. Rio Rancho had a few turnovers, playing on a field that they're not used to here in Cleveland instead of playing at Rio Rancho because of the electrical issues at their stadium that day. So they had a lot of issues trying to get into that game. But Hobbs did pick up the victory, which is the important part. But I think the one big difference we see there with the defenses is the Hobbs Eagles gave up 341 yards to Rio Rancho and 166 total in terms of Rio Rancho with their 106, or Cleveland only gave up 166 yards to Rio Rancho. So there's a big difference there. 341 for the Hobbs Eagle defense giving up, 166 for the Cleveland defense giving up. That has to be changed. And one thing that needs to be shut down is Rio Rancho really got 197 yards of rushing. Cleveland did a better job only giving up 60 yards rushing to Rio Rancho. So there's the difference. Better run defense to support for Cleveland's D.
But, you know, all these yards, I mean, they're nice. It's nice to get 350 yards, as you said. But the final draw is what does the scoreboard say? When it's 24-21 with Hobbs in the lead, you know, that's where you look at it. You want to slow down or stop that run, yes. Definitely. You want to make sure you get some turnovers to cause some things to slow down your opponent. But in the end, what you want to look at is the scoreboard. And the scoreboard says Hobbs won on that one as well as, of course, the Storm beating Rio Rancho. And that's all that matters. If you can win that scoreboard, the rest is just mashed potatoes, basically.
Cleveland averaging 34 points a game, only giving up 15. So defense really stellar for this Storm team. Hobbs with 30 points a game offensively and giving up 23. So Cleveland has outscored them by 4 per game, and on defense giving up 8 less points per game. Once again, quite a good different host of opponents this season, but both teams have played Las Cruces Highs, so that is a common, and Centennial as well. So those are some teams the Eagles play in their district. So some common things to look at there with those squads.
In fact, yeah, if you do look at the numbers on the averages, you'll notice that the rushing goes to Cleveland, passing goes to Hobbs. The total yards per game goes barely to Hobbs, but the points, that's what matters. 31.7 for Cleveland, 28.1 for Hobbs. So they have that slight advantage. However, you can put all those together. You can put the fact that Hobbs hasn't won the last 7 tries. That doesn't mean that this is going to be number 8. That could mean that Hobbs is fired up and ready to play, and Cleveland may simply be just looking ahead. That's a possibility as well, although a championship game or a championship team like this generally knows how to play it. But, sometimes you get a little ahead of yourself. And we're hoping at least the first half anyway, that Hobbs can gain some momentum, get ahead. And because what Cleveland says, momentum, that's what they go with. They start off and go strong after that.
Jordan Hatcher, starting quarterback, 1,205 yards this season, has hit on 62% of the passes. The team itself at 60% completion rate, about 126 yards a game in terms of the passing for the Cleveland Storm. They have a total of 16 touchdowns for passing and 24 in the rushing game. Their top running back, Harris Boubet, 1,274 yards, averaging about 127 yards a game. Has 6 games over 100 yards rushing and 16 of the 24 rushing touchdowns predominant there for Cleveland. There's not very many people close to him in terms of numbers this season. In fact, you got to go from 1,274 for him all the way down to 170 for Giannis. He is averaging about 21 yards a game. So definite difference there. Hobbs going to have the radar on Buhay in this contest for sure. The receiving department, not a lot of passing number receivers in terms of numbers on paper. Jaden Davis, their leading receiver, with 619 yards and 61 a game. He has 6 touchdowns of the 15 total in the air for the Cleveland Storm. Looking at their defense, they got some tough guys, mostly on their defensive line, especially Chuka Tutman. He has 55 tackles this season, 6.5 sacks. He is really definitely one of their best players in terms of getting through the line of scrimmage and penetrating. He is not the leader, though. The middle linebacker, Isaac Madrano, has 64 total tackles this season, 8 for loss. So he's definitely their go-to guy in the linebacking core. Definitely look at those two to be a part of their big defense in this one. Salmon Kegler, too. He's got 7 tackles for losses and 49 tackles overall, and he is actually number 1 on the team in sacks at 10.5. So they're going to have to hold him at bay, the Hobbs Eagle front line on the offense. Quickly moving to the Hobbs offense real quick here before we get the kickoff. In terms of passing, Callaway, 1,355 yards. He's completed 58% of his passes. Hobbs averaging about 183 in the air this season. They have 20 passing touchdowns so far. And in terms of receivers, of course, Jaquez is the leader with 841 yards, averaging 13 a catch. He has 8 of the 20 passing touchdowns for the Eagles. Also, Black is second with 407 yards and 2 touchdowns. And also Franklin with 394 yards and 5 touchdowns. The rushing game, of course, we've said this all along, Saul Armendariz, 1,121 yards. He leads the team in the rushing touchdowns, 15 out of the 24 the Eagles have on the ground.
All right, well, Hobbs has won. They're going to be receiving the kickoff to open this game up. And, this will be a good one. Coach Robert Garcia, who's been basically here since the beginning of time, since the beginning of the Cleveland time, is now the head coach since last year. He's been doing a great job. Of course, Stevens, too, who is from Eunice, he's also doing a great job. It's going to be very interesting to see who does prevail in this game.
Top defenders for your Hobbs Eagles, Tristan Davis, 126 tackles, 17 for a loss. Another triple-digit tackler for the Eagles, Gustavo Diaz-Castro, the linebacker, 101 tackles, and 88 for Zayda McPherson, which you mentioned earlier, Ron, is back in this ball game. So Hobbs with 77 tackles for losses this season. Looking forward to seeing that against the Cleveland Storm. Hobbs going to wear the white uniforms, gold numbers, the ones we love to watch from the binoculars because you cannot see them from the crowd. And, of course, the dark blue navy color tops for Cleveland and the light blue, teal-looking bottoms for the Storm.
I will say this, the starburst worked for Artesia. It could work for Hobbs as well in his starter.
Al Hobbs has 3 back deep, and here comes the kickoff. It's going to be a dropper at the 20, caught by the Eagles. They're going to stand on the starburst, running up the middle, heading to the far sideline is Jaquez, spreads it out to the 25, 30, to the Hobbs Eagles sideline, hippity hop, 35, and a spun around 37, 38. He continues to go to that far sideline and gets piled up by some Cleveland Storm. So great return for the Eagles.
Yeah, he ran as far as he could. He ran out of real estate. Could have gotten a little bit more, but there was a lot of blue in front of him, so he couldn't run through it, so he did the best he could with what he got.
So Hobbs will have it at the 37. They're bringing a football out to the field, trying to hand that off to the officials right now. It looks like they might have got them mixed up here, so they're trying to relocate the game ball they're going to use for the Hobbs Eagle offense.
Finally got that set up.
Eagles come into this game the 8th seed, of course, Cleveland at number 1. They had a bye last week. Hobbs with a big win over Clovis. Hobbs going with the double look, twins right and left. We're going to be battling with this PA announcer the whole game, it sounds like. It's very blaring over the top of the press box. Callaway back in shotgun, has Armendariz on his back right shoulder. Going to get the ball to Armendariz up the gut, tries to head right, gets away from one tackler, but he's going to go down to the backfield. He's going to be dropped for a loss of 3 yards on a quick tackle there for Cleveland as they converged on him.
But luckily they gave him the forward progress. He did get knocked back a couple of yards, but they went ahead and gave him, but still it was a loss of about 3 yards on the play.
Yep, they go -3 on that one. Second down and 13. Eagles knock back to the 35. In a cold game like this, you got to just go hard and fast. Try to get yourself warmed up. Trips left, receiver right for the Eagles. Second down and 13 for the 35. Callaway looks to the sideline for Coach Stevens in the call here. Still has Armendariz back with him. He's going to switch from right to left shoulder of Callaway in the backfield. There's going to be 3 in the front line, as you mentioned in the pregame. Handoff around the right end, stretching it out to the 40, 45, 50 into Cleveland territory for the first down. Going to get 15 on that carry. That was Armendariz. So that's going to be 13 for him.
And a first down for the Eagles. You know, I had a feeling that they were going to be able to run it around the end of that, and that's exactly what they did. Cleveland wasn't ready for it for the first run on the outside. Hobbs took advantage of it.
Oh, they're going to say he went down, or out of bounds, I should say, at the 49, so take a few of those yards back. It will be a first down, so he did get, looks like 13. They're going to give him 13 on that one at the 49. Still in Hobbs Eagle territory, though. It would have been about 15 if they would have let him go past that mid-stripe instead of stepping out. Hobbs going to take some time as they're going to reset the offense here. Twins right, receiver left for the Eagles. Callaway looks left and right to his receiving core, takes a snap. Give to Armendariz, angling right, sliding to the right side of the sideline, and is brought down. I don't think he got back to line of scrimmage as he gets a major wall on top of him there. Cleveland gets through quickly.
He may have, it might have been half a yard at best. Yeah, it looks like it, but there was about 4 Storm on him to stop his progress right away as soon as he got the ball. So, yeah, he was lucky enough to get where he was at.
Isaiah Giannis in there first, a loss of 1 on the play, so 3 carries now for 9 for Armendariz. Twins left, receiver right. As Armendariz stacked up right behind Callaway, there's going to be a change on the call as they shift a guy over to the right slot, and then Armendariz moves to the right side of Callaway. Back to pass, 2-step drop, fade route to the far sideline, a spiral over the shoulder near the sideline. It's juggled in the air and out of bounds, though, at the 15. No catch on that one. Good hands on the ball there for the Eagles as going up the sideline was Jaquez, and Boyd, he has some speed out there as he was going hard against the cornerback on that far left right sideline in front of the Hobbs Eagle bench, going past Michael Haynes, the cornerback.
Yeah, the only problem was the throw was just a little short and a little out of bounds. Otherwise, it could have been a great first down for the Hobbs Eagles.
He did tip the ball to himself in the air, kind of a hot potato on that far sideline, trying to keep his footing in, but could not get that to come down for him. Third down and 11 for the Eagles at the 49. The referee stops the action, the umpire, and is picking up the football.
It wasn't properly set.
Yeah, they had it at the original line they had. Now it's back to the 48. Third down and 11. Trips left, receiver right. Callaway by himself in the backfield. 2-step drop, stays pocket. He's getting hit hard in the shoulder pads and thrown down for a big loss.
Yes, indeed.
It's going to be about 11 yards on that one on the minus that time. And, boy, some quick penetration coming through the line, and getting off the right side of the line through to make the stop in the wrap-up was Louis Birch, the defensive end, and that's going to be a minus 11 on that one.
Yeah, and just when you thought there might be enough time, that 4-line down rush in and was able to stop the quarterback and, of course, get a big loss on that one as well.
Yeah, they're going to go with minus 9 on that one. But Hobbs in a punt situation, 4th down, and looks like 18 and a half. So Hobbs will be punting about the 27-yard line once they get the snap here. And here comes the punt, and it's away from the 30 for the Eagles. Off the foot of Brycina Villa. The ball is caught at the 30-yard line.
Dropped, yes.
Yeah, it was dropped for a second. Very cold hands, I can guarantee, out there. They were able to bring it down, though, as Jaden Davis, the wide receiver, able to make the catch or make the drop and then the scoop up there to retain possession.
And that was after the fair catch.
It will be made at the 29-yard line, is where the placement will be. The first offensive unit coming in for Cleveland. It's still scoreless here in the first quarter. 8:45 remaining. Hobbs and Cleveland here in Rio Rancho. Ty Friend and Ron Gunner with you. The quarterfinals of the 6A playoffs. Back in shotgun, ready to go. Twins right, receiver left. They're going to go with a handoff around the left end of the 30, 35, 40, and then a high step. Looks like about 11 or 12 on that one.
Yeah, I'd say about 12.
Umbueja is the guy that gets the carry, and they're going to say he went out of bounds after about a 9-yard pickup. It looked like he got in front of that first down marker.
Oh, it was 8, only 8.
So 2nd and 2 now, and it's a quick play. It's going to go right back to him. He runs angle left, gets across the 45, will get the first down. So Bueja now is going to pick up 5 on that one. So 2 quick runs for Bueja. He's got 13 now. The first down for Cleveland on the hurry-up offense. They're not going to waste any time at this point.
No, they're not. They're going to try to get an early lead so they can relax a little bit and dominate this Hobbs Eagles team.
Twins left, receivers 2 to the right side. Hatch back in shotgun. Bueja in the backfield with him on the right shoulder. 2-step drop. He's going to fire the out route. Catch near the first down marker. Tiptoe, but it's going to be short of the first down by about a yard. 9-yard reception to Angel Gallegos. Gallegos getting his first catch of the ball game, an 8-yard pickup. Cleveland 1 for 1 in the passing game. They've got 21 yards so far on the offense. 2nd down and 8. Or 2nd down and 2 after an 8-yard reception at the Eagle 47-yard line. Twins left and right. Actually got a slot right and 2 receivers right side, 1 to the left. They're going to pull out of the play call as they look back to get a redirection from Coach Robert Garza. Hatch looks underneath the center, then backs out at shotgun. Eagles with 4 in the front defensive line. Fake the handoff, going to throw the slant route high in the air, jumping for it. The Eagle 41 coming up with the catch is Jaden Davis. That will be enough for the first down as he'll get 7. Actually, that was number 7, Weddle. As Weddle gets 7 on that one, and will move the chains again for the second time. Hurry up offense, 2 for 2 in the passing game. Hatch is going to hold off to Mbaha, goes to the 40, diving forward, and slides to the right sideline. He's going to get about 3 on that one. So Bueja's not going to waste any time, neither is the offense, as he angled to the right side. He's got 3 carries for 16.
Exactly, taking a playbook right out of Hobbs Eagles, trying to get the defense on their heels and so far. It's working for the Storm.
They're in Hobbs Eagle territory at the 37. Clock down to 6:59 left here in the first. Hatch is slapping his hands on the snap count. Hands around the right end. Bueja bounces into one defender, continues down to the 30, and spun around to the 25-yard line. So he's going to get 14.
Yeah, took 2 Eagles.
He's the go-to guy. They're going to make it 13 instead as he went down quicker. He hasn't been stopped yet, just continues to bounce off people now with 29 yards on 4 carries, a hurry-up offense from the 25. Back to pass, Hatch with a pump fake, rolls left. He's got 3 men chasing him way back at the 35 to the far sideline and runs out of bounds. He's going to have a big loss on this one, -6. Eagles with lots of penetration that time and chasing him from behind. 3 guys in on the play, and these are some big dudes, too. They're not just, safeties or cornerbacks. Oliver Hill was one of them out there, and we know he's a big wide body, and he's going to go after you hard regardless of whether he gives up a few poundage to the quarterback.
Yeah, one of the problems that the quarterback did have was the fact that he was running against his body, so he could not throw it anywhere and throw it away like he wanted to.
-7 on that for Hatch. 2nd down and 17 back of the 32-yard line. Hatch in shotgun, Twins right, receiver left. He bobbles the ball in the backfield. It's loose on the turf. Eagles might have recovered it on the fumble. He juggled it as it got close to the ground, just lost it off the ends of his fingertips. Pretty cold out there. Eagles are pointing for the fumble recovery, and they've come out of the pile. Looks like the man that's come up with the recovery, Gustavo Diaz-Castro, the linebacker, and the first turnover of the game for the home team. The Cleveland Storm give it back to the Eagles.
And Diaz-Castro has always been there to provide some electricity. That time he provided the offense with the ball for the Hobbs Eagles.
So Hobbs will get the first recovery of the ball game. They'll have it at the 37. Still 0-0 here in the first quarter. 6:26 remaining. Trying to get the chains reset for the Eagle offense as they will get back up on the line of scrimmage. They got Twins left. They're stacked. Same on the right side with 2 receivers. Shotgun coming in for Callaway. He's going to hand it off to Armendariz. Heads outside right to the 35 towards the original line of scrimmage. I don't know if he got across or not. He got run out of bounds in front of the Hobbs Eagle bench on the far right.
It looks like he just barely did get back to it.
Yeah, I guess no gain on the play there for Armendariz. Currently with 4 carries for 9 yards across the 35 to the 36. 2nd down and 9. Actually gave him a little bit of gain on the play, so give him 1 on that one. Hobbs looking to the sideline now. They'll send the 2 receivers left and 1 to the right side. Now making trips left as they get the call from Coach Stevens. Of course, the Cleveland Storm have lost a couple of home games here this season to some Texas squads, Amarillo and Friendship, outside of Lubbock. Trips left, receiver right, shotgun Callaway. Hand off to Armendariz up the gap, trying to pull his body across the 40 and meets a pile for the Cleveland Storm. That's going to be, looks like he's going to get 4 or 5 on that one. Makes a big jump over the blue pile that time. Bunch of guys kind of peeling off of that after they get the wrap up. That was Nathaniel Perry, the defensive tackle.
Yeah, and he had to muscle his way for those extra yards. He would have only gotten about 1 or 2, but he went ahead and muscled in, got some help from his O-line, and made it 3rd and about 5, 6.
Yeah, they gave him 4 on that one. He's got 14 yards on the ground, 3rd down and 6, as you mentioned, at the 41-yard line. Eagles will put 1 receiver left. Got a couple of receivers stacked up on the right side of the line of scrimmage, real close to the front line. They're going to do it the pitch around the right end to Hawkes. Stutter step. Tries to put back on the acceleration, but is met in the backfield. I thought that might have been Hawkes that time, but it might have been Armendariz too. Yeah, it was 23, so he's going to lose about a yard on the play. But that's going to put the Eagles in a 4th down situation. That's 3 drop back behind the line of scrimmage for Armendariz so far, so some good penetration for Cleveland. We mentioned some of their defensive linemen, especially the ends, definitely get through quite a bit. 4th down and 8 for the Eagles. They're going to be in punt situation here.
It looks like they are going to, but...
now we got flags flying. I don't know if the receivers got on their spots or not, if there was some movement. Waiting to see what the official got to call here. False start going to be against the Eagles, their first penalty of the ball game. So that'll back them up 5. Probably won't manage to mess up the punt situation much because still got to boot the ball away.
It looked like it was just going to be a pooch kick from the quarterback, but now it's going to be a regular kick. Now Cleveland is back to receive that punt.
Still scoreless here in the first quarter. This is the 2nd Eagle possession. Will end up being a punt. Be the 2nd of the game. There's a flag on the snap. They're going to go ahead and let the punt go away. It's going to bounce at the Cleveland 30. Takes a Hobbs Eagle roll past the 20-yard line down to the 18. It's a great coverage. There's going to be a flag, though, at the line of scrimmage. Great job to get down there and sprint. Brycene Avila is the man that gets down and taps the football dead. But the flag came out at the line on the snap, so we'll have to wait and see what that's all about.
Exactly, and it looks like we're going to get that call here pretty soon.
Whitecap talking to one of his side judges here, referees.
Yeah, it came out real quick. As soon as the ball was snapped, the flag was thrown.
Still haven't seen a signal from the Whitecap here. Coach Stevens out on the field on the other sideline, the right.
Here it comes.
Another false start against the Eagles. Legal motion is what they call. So a 2nd penalty in a row for the Eagles. They've had 2 back-to-back here on the punt formation, and definitely got to get that cleaned up. Kind of surprised they didn't stop the action. There actually was a motion. That's why they didn't stop it. If it would have just been a jump, they would have automatically stopped the play. So we're back to deja vu again. Back to punt once again will be for the Eagles. Brock Beatty, the backup quarterback for Hobbs. Or actually, he's the backup quarterback. His brother also plays, too. The kicker, Braddock Beatty. He's just a sophomore, though. Of course, 1 more year for Brock Beatty, the junior. He has traded off with Owen Callaway this season at quarterback. We did see him last week against Clovis. 4th down now for the Eagles, about 15 to go. Back in punt once again. Still a little bit of movement from the wide receivers. Going to be 1 in motion left to right. Good snap. Beatty will get rid of it from the 20-yard line. A low one. Wobbler. It's caught, and it's bobbled again at the 40, but a knee comes down quickly for Cleveland. Have to get down close to the turf to make the fair catch, but he got lucky to hold on to that hot one, even though it's very cold here. Carter Weddle, the wide receiver, comes down with it. That's the 2nd time they've bobbled these punt returns.
Yeah, well, we've talked about the fact that the cold can be a difference, but that right there, the penalty cost us 21 yards as it goes from the 19 to the 40. So Cleveland, a much better placement as far as field position.
So we can probably see the handoffs quite a bit coming to Mumbehe. Of course, he's definitely a top-notch runner for this Cleveland Storm offense. And they've been doing some hurry up in their first possession. Didn't go anywhere after a fumble for the Hobbs Eagles as Cleveland was moving into Hobbs Eagle territory, though.
Yeah, bad snap happened with that.
Correct pronunciation, Mahe, if I got that right. Rolling right, Hatchett wants to throw. He's going to try to throw it down the middle on the drag route. Caught the Eagle 45 and advanced across to the 42. That's going to be about an 18-yard pickup.
Indeed.
And coming up with that 18-yard pickup for Cleveland was Marcus LaQuesta Sr.
And once again, on the move are the Cleveland Storm. They have a fluidity about them. One of the reasons probably why they won 3 out of the 4 championships.
They're 1 of 2 in the passing game for 3 for 3. As they're going to hand it off around the left end. Bubehe across the 40, puts his head down and gets out to the 38. He's going to get 4 yards on that one. So Bueja gets another positive gain. He's had a 1 long of 13 at this point, and a total of 31 overall in the running department. We mentioned the passing game, 3 for 3 at this point for Cleveland, and they have a total of 33 yards in the air. 3 first downs so far. They have the ball at the 37. Tight end moved out of his formation, now going in motion left to right. Receivers left and right for the Storm at the Eagle 37. Hand up the middle. Mumbaha gets across, throws his head down across the line, and is up across the 35. Looks like to the 34-yard line. 3-yard pickup for him. It looks like he'll continue to be the go-to in the backfield.
Exactly, and we pretty much knew that was going to be happening anyway. They're going to key off him for as long as he's going to be able to make those yardage, and if not, then they're going to go ahead and try to get the pass going and see what they can get from there. But they have been so far successful on most every play they've had.
7 for 31 in rushing for Mumbaha. 3rd down and about 2 at the Eagle 34 for Cleveland on the right hash. Fake the handoff Hatch. He's going to throw the slant route. Caught at the 25, 20, 15, 10, and got the ball stripped out of his hands. It's loose at the 3-yard line. The Eagles have recovered their second fumble. Beautiful strip. The man that comes up with the football is Carlos Jimenez, and the Hobbs Eagles completely eradicate another drive for the Storm on a turnover.
Exactly, and all the receiver did was try to do a little extra move, try to get a little more yardage, and once again, when you see that, then usually you notice that the ball comes out. It certainly did, and Hobbs was all around it, all over it. And they may not have great position on the field, but they do have the ball back.
That was a 25-yard pass reception, and then the fumble. The ball knocked out from behind. You couldn't see who got a piece of the football, but we did mention that Jimenez comes up with it. 2 fumbles turned over by Cleveland. They've been pretty clean this season in terms of turnovers, too. They had 4 fumbles and 1 turnover off those fumbles up until this game. Throw the quick screen over the right far sideline near the first down marker. We're going to see if they got any forward progress on that one. That is Hawkes. It was deep over on that right side. And he might have got, he did get ahead for about 2 yards on that one. First catch of the game for Hawkes.
Yeah, they definitely want to get out of that end zone and onto the field for better ability to be able to move down this field.
2nd down and 8, ball at the 5-yard line. Deep in Hobbs Eagle territory. Shotgun for Callaway, hands up the middle. Armendariz 10, 15, 20, angling right. 25 to the sideline, is tripped up from behind, and a late flag on the far left sideline. We'll see what the call's going to be here.
Yeah, let's see if this is going to come back or if it's going to count.
It'll be about 19 yards for Armendariz. It might be a sideline infraction. The referee on this far left sideline is telling the team to get back. So Armendariz is going to get 19 on that run. That will move the chains. And we're still not seeing any conference with the officials here.
Right.
They pointed towards Cleveland just now, but I didn't get to see the signal as Coach Stevens wants to make sure what the call is. They might have just declined it. Yeah, they're going to go ahead and take the play from the 5 all the way to the 25, so actually a 20-yard pickup for Armendariz. His biggest of the game. He had a 13-yarder earlier in the quarter. Down to 1:35 left in the first, still scoreless. Twins left, receiver right. Going to give the ball to Armendariz. He goes to the right side of the hash out to the 30. Another 5 for Armendariz. So you see on both teams, you got one lone back getting most of the carries. And Armendariz starting to really stack up the numbers now.
Got a quick update for you from Rio Rancho. Actually, it's Sandia. It is Rio Rancho 3, Sandia nothing at the end of the quarter.
Armendariz with 38 yards rushing so far for the Eagles. After he picks up 5 there, 2nd down and 5 from their own 29. Twins left, receiver right. Callaway has a slot man on the left side as well, waiting for the count here. He's going to move Armendariz out as a receiver on the right to make it Twins on both sides. Armendariz will back up and shot again. Clock to 50 seconds left. Low snap, two-step drop. In the pocket, tucks and goes. 30, angles left. Trying to stretch it out to the 35 to the sideline. And is out at the 37. It was late hit in the back. No flag there. But that was close to being a flag. That's going to be a 7-yard pickup for Callaway as he really turned it on and got to that Cleveland Storm sideline on the left.
But it looks like he did get enough for a first down. That's all that really matters. I would have liked that tack on at the end. However, it doesn't matter. First down, Hobbs Eagles.
Yeah, we'll have it at the 36-yard line. Or make it 37, a 1st and 10. Their third first down of the game. Hobbs going to take a look at the sideline of Coach Stevens. Did get out of bounds to stop the clock at 43 seconds left. First quarter, we're still scoreless. Twins right, receiver left. Callaway back in shotgun, has Armendariz behind him. One-step drop, the curl route, caught at the 40. And drug out of bounds quickly, a 3-yard pickup. He will stay in bounds. He did get thrown to the turf that time.
Yeah.
And that was Justin Black with his first catch of the game. He's got 2 yards on that one. Eagles are now 2 of 3 in the passing game for just 4 yards. So really not long stuff at this point. But now a 2nd down and 8 for the Eagles at the Hobbs 39-yard line. Clock down to 15. We'll see if the Eagles are going to run another play. It doesn't look like they're very anxious to do so. Let this clock run. It doesn't look like there will be another play in the first quarter. But 2 fumbles, Ron. Cleveland has given up to Hobbs to stop drives. That's been a killer for the Storm at this point.
Yeah, and Hobbs so far didn't answer on the first one, still driving on this one. So there is a possibility they can make up for it by getting a score off that last one that was so close to the end zone for the Cleveland Storm. But, yeah, you definitely want to make sure that you answer on this one.
So we'll get ready for the second quarter. Still scoreless, 0-0. The Hobbs Eagles at the Cleveland Storm in the quarterfinals of the 6A. Back in 30 seconds.
For all your grocery specials, shop Thriftway and La Tienda in Hobbs. The best deals in fresh produce, fresh meat, and vegetables, frozen and dairy, health and beauty, and so much more. With the friendliest and most knowledgeable staff, Thriftway and La Tienda. For all your grocery specials, come on down to La Tienda, 400 East Marland, and Thriftway, 1317 North Turner in Hobbs. Best of luck, Eagles, from all of your friends at Thriftway and La Tienda grocery stores.
We're back live at Lightning Bolt Stadium. Ty, friend Ron Gunner with you, and Tiffany Stuber back at the studio. Your Hobbs Eagles knotted up at 0 with the Cleveland Storm, the number 1 team in the state, who had a bye last week. 2 fumbles for the Storm, have given the ball back to the Hobbs Eagles, but have yet to get any points on the scoreboard. They do have it 2nd down and 8 from their own 39-yard line in the left hash, and a pretty back-and-forth game so far, Ron.
It is, and definitely exciting. Definitely could be something really to watch.
Twins left receiver right. Callaway going to hand off around the left end to Armendariz, but he's going to be met in the backfield. Not a lot of faking going on here as Cleveland just going to swarm like a storm. As he's going to be behind the line of scrimmage, about a 2-yard loss. A bunch of guys getting hands on him that time. First initial slap by Louis Burch, the defensive tackle, and that will be a loss of 3, unfortunately, for Armendariz, who now has 35 yards in the ball game.
Actually, that was a loss of 5. It knocks him back to third
that's right.
and about 12.
Give him even more than that. So 33 yards in carries so far for Armendariz. 3rd down, about 12 and a half. Ball's placed at the 34-yard line of the Eagles. Making a 3rd down. Twins right and left. Callaway and Armendariz in the backfield. Armendariz keeps switching sides of the back there of Callaway. 3-step drop into the shotgun, in the pocket, down the middle of the seam route. Wide open is the safety for Cleveland. He just jumps up in the air and barely has to get off the ground for the INT down at the 36-yard line of the Storm.
Yeah, and that was a pass that just went right to him. Like you said, he didn't have to do much to get up for that one.
That was A.J. Manning, the free safety, just like a center fielder in baseball.
Right.
So now 1 turnover for the Eagles, 2 turnovers for Cleveland. We mentioned earlier, Cleveland only had 4 fumbles this season, and only 1 was given up. 3 of them recovered.
Exactly.
So they're really having some issues in this cold situation, which I think is affecting both teams.
Exactly. And, I mean, plus side is Hobbs isn't doing as badly as they could, but they also have not been able to get those turnovers into scores.
Cleveland back up on the line at the 36 on their side of the field. They have trips left, receiver right. Hatch in shotgun. Mumbaha in behind him. Hands it off right side. Cuts back to the right hash to the 35, 40 to the far sideline. Keeps going. Breaks the tackle. 50, 45 of the Eagles and the 40. And backpedals his way to the 37. How did he get away from the first initial hit there? He did it. And he's going to get, looks like, 25 yards. Maybe even more than that. Looks like 25 is what they're going to give him. Mumbaha.
It looked like either they were trying to strip the ball or they were just going for the upper body. They've done that before. They need to learn to get for the legs, go for the legs to be able to stop them. That did not happen, and he got those extra yards. First down, of course, for the Storm.
56 yards on the ground for Mumbaha. He averaged over 120 a game on the ground. Fourth first down for the Storm at the Eagle 37 on the right hash. Hatch in shotgun, Twins left, receiver right. Fakes the handoff, go back with the shotgun, pass down the right side over the shoulder, but overthrows his receiver at about the 1 yard line. That was about a 43-yard pass. Carter Weddle was the intended receiver, and he put his hand out the best he could near the goal line as it was over the shoulder. And fortunately for the Storm, they could not get underneath that pass. Hobbs getting burned a little bit back there on the cornerback position as trying to get back there with him to try to get a swat at that one.
Yeah, I think I got the same number, and I didn't see it on the
number
lineup.
4 was who they have on the jersey there, and we've had switches on some rosters. So incomplete pass for the Eagles. We're now 2 of 4 in the passing game. Cleveland 4 of 5. They go the handoff around the right end. Mumbaha breaks a tackle out across the 30 and is brought down. And you're going to see him a bunch more in this game. And it looks like he's going to get at least 9 here.
If not 10. It looks like it is right on the line. If not,
like 9.
No, it is 9. That's right. I see it now.
So he's picked up another 9 yards to his name. He's got 65 yards on the ground. Third down and 1 now at the Hobbs Eagle 27. High snap, staying in the pocket. The throw on the curl route, caught at the 22. Trying to cut back and gets to this 22 and gets knocked down was Carter Weddle.
Yeah.
So Weddle will get the first down. Looks like about 4 yards on that one for Weddle.
And they're just moving the ball down the field with rather ease this time once again. And they are near the red zone right now.
5th first down for Cleveland. Weddle with 3 catches for 36 yards. The ball is at the 22 of the Eagles on the left hash. Twins right, receivers 2 to the left side as well. Hatch back in shotgun. Cleveland starting to get more consistency on this drive. Going to get a handoff around the right end to Mumbaha. He tries to cut back to the 20 and takes a wall to the front of that, and looks like he might have got to the 19 possibly.
Mumbaha.
And he gets a bunch of people in there for the Hobbs Eagles, getting a helmet in there first. Zakiah Wad, the defensive tackle. And they're going to give, looks like 4 yards that time for Mumbaha.
Yeah, even when Mumbaha does a short distance, it's still at least a positive gain.
They got at the 19-yard line. Second down. Actually, just give him 3 on that one. Second down and 7 from the 19. Still scoreless here in the second quarter with 9:14 remaining. Very fast-moving clock. Twins left and right. Underneath the center for just a second was Hatch. He backs out to shotgun. Keeps Mumbaha on his left shoulder. 2-step drop. Throws the quick curl route at the 10-yard line. A catch is made and somersaulted around. It's going to be a big pickup here.
Josh Lyles.
Yeah, Lyles will be the receiver. Gets a 12-yard catch on that one. So Lyles has his first reception of the ball game. Cleveland now 6 of 7. 6 or make it the 7th first down at the Eagle 8-yard line near the right hash. So in the red zone are the Cleveland Storm as they want to put the first points of the game on the scoreboard here at home at Lightning Bolt Stadium. First and goal from the 8. Twins left and right. Man in motion from right to left. They give the hand to Mumbaha. Cuts right, then zigzags across the 5 as he falls forward. So back from the 9 to the 4 is really going to mark it. A 5-yard pickup from Mumbaha. So just edging closer, and he's got very shifty legs too, crazy legs out there. He kind of shifts them around, the knees get bouncing outside, then he cuts it back, and it's hard to get a grip, especially with cold hands out there for the Hobbs Eagle defense.
And Zayden McPherson was the one that brought him down initially.
Second down and goal. They've got it at the 4-yard line to the Storm. Snap is high, but they give it out to Mumbaha. Breaks a tackle, cuts right, drags people with him, diving with the ball across the goal line. They're going to say touchdown. He leached the ball across. He dove for about the 3. Somehow got his hands stretched out enough to cross that goal line, break the plane. The knee went down after that, and a touchdown. That kid will not go down easy.
Exactly, and yeah, he had to fight for that one, and he definitely did. Got it in just barely, just enough.
So the first score of the game for the Cleveland Storm, who lead 6-0 here in the second quarter. No scoring in the first quarter for either team. And the man to do the kicking for Cleveland is Miguel Quinones to try to make it 7-0. Snap is good. The kick is up, almost blocked for the Eagles. It looks like it's going to go through the upright. Good try for a knock on the ball that time by the DB Carlos Jimenez. Stretched out, dove across Superman style. Just barely missed the kick on that one. 8:24 remaining, second quarter. Cleveland 7, your Hobbs Eagles nothing. We'll be back in 30 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network.
Is your cost of rent through the roof? It might make sense to buy a home instead. If you're still renting and never thought you could afford a home, right now you may want to call your friends at Robinson & Associates. Robinson & Associates offers free consultations in English and in Spanish. Robinson & Associates want to guide you through the entire process and make it as simple as possible. Call Robinson & Associates today at 392-0266. That's 575-392-0266. Call Robinson & Associates today and let them earn your trust.
8:24 left, second quarter. Your Hobbs Eagles trail 7-0. Mumbaha was the guy with the touchdown, a 4-yard run, and the PAT. Although 2 fumble turnovers for Cleveland in this game. 1 INT for the Eagles on a deep pass. So both teams got to clean up those turnovers if they want to move to the semifinals.
Got an update for you from Roswell. They are up 13-0 over Mayfield at the end of the first quarter.
Getting ready for the kickoff for the Storm from their 40-yard line here at Lightning Bolt Stadium in Rio Rancho. Very cold and chilly part of the state here tonight. Saw some snow on the way up near Roswell. The kick is going to be end over end down the right side. Running underneath it. Bounces off the knees of the Eagles. Diving forward across the 25. And I think they got the recovery here. The ball went hard off the knee, and boy, big recovery. The man that gets it back after getting it off his knee was Amarian Kennedy, and dodging a bullet on that one, Ron.
Exactly, it was. It looked like it was perfectly hit to him, and then just bounced off his chest. He was able to jump on it before the Cleveland Storm was able to get there.
Actually a little lower than that off the knee. I mean, it hit hard off that knee pad and just zinged to the ground, and luckily dove body forward and tried to come scoop that and got it down before Cleveland could get back. 26-yard line, the Eagles will have it. They trail 7-0 on the right hash of their side of the field. Trips left, receiver right, back in shotgun. Ready for that big snap here. Owen Callaway gives it to Armendariz up the gut. 30, 35, sees the space and gets rolled over as he gets the first down.
Wow. And
the roll got an extra 2. They're going to actually give it all to him, too. 14 pickup for Armendariz as he now has 47 yards on the ground.
And that's his second big run for the day on him. And, yeah, he is definitely being able to hit those open spaces and make the most out of it.
So 45 yards rushing for Armendariz, the 4th first down for the Eagles. Your Hobbs Eagles definitely want to get back in this game.
They did push it back just a little bit, but just like a couple of yards, but it's still first down.
Getting ready back for the next play at the 37-yard line. Trips left, receiver right. Long delay on the snap call here is going to have an audible as he looks at the sideline, does Callaway, to get the call from Coach Stevens. Good snap gun, or shotgun. Hand up the middle again. Armendariz sees the gap. Good call there across the 40, down to the 44-yard line. Looks like he's got another 6 or so, just depending on where they spot the knee down that time. Yep, they give him 6.
Yeah, another great gain for the Hobbs Eagles. They need to have more of these, be able to get back into this game. Got an update for you from La Cueva, 21-0 over Farmington at the end of the first quarter.
51 yards on the ground for Armendariz. Of course, he's over the 1,000 mark this season. Had that big game last week over our triple digits, putting him into that 1,000-plus mark. Second down and 4 now for the 44. Ball's low up, snap, it goes to the ground. It looks like getting on top of it was Armendariz in front of Callaway that time. Ball got kind of shoved off to the right side. He's going to lose about 2-3 yards on that one, and you can just guarantee that ball is hard as a rock, and it's hard when it hits your hands, and it's cold out there as well. Don't see many gloves out on the field for the Hobbs Eagles, though.
Yeah, I mean, we hate to make excuses, but hey, the bad thing, or at least it could have been worse, it could have been a fumble and a turnover. It just was a fumble, not a turnover for the Hobbs Eagles.
We mentioned earlier that Cleveland had 4 drops on the ground this season, only lost 1 of those on the turnovers. Hobbs had 8 fumbles and 7 give-ups on those, so hopefully they can win that battle in this game. 3rd down and 8. Now from the 39-yard line. Shotgun Callaway. Pump fakes. He's going to throw it to the right flat. It's intercepted at the 30. A short little dart pass to the right side and run up the sideline. Still going to the 15 and thrown out of bounds. He spikes the ball at the sideline, though. They should have got a flag on him that time. But regardless, the interception for Cleveland was Chuka Tutman, the defensive end, and that gives it back to Cleveland deep in the Hobbs Eagle red zone, and not a good situation to be in.
No, it isn't. That was going to be a dump-off. He had 2 Cleveland Storm rushing him, and he was trying to get the ball over to Sal Armendariz. Just did not get it over that defender before he, of course, caught it, and then just bulldozed down the field.
Yeah, he threw it right to the numbers of the defender, not a place you want to give it to the other team, but they're going to have it now at the Hobbs Eagle 17-yard line. Defense quickly back out on the field. There'll be a trips right for Cleveland, 1 receiver to the left for the blue squad, as going back to shotgun is Hatch. Mubaha next to him. 3-step drop. Back at the 35, 25. Rolls right. Gets out of pressure to the 20. Continues to run. Throws it out of bounds as he got out of the pocket. And, of course, he throws it out. That means it's not an intentional grounding this year with the rule that went into play last season. As long as you get outside where all the blocking's going on and you get out to the sideline, you don't have to throw it even to a receiver. Just chuck it out of bounds, which he did there. Got it out towards that first down marker, but to a ghost.
Yeah, but you also have to, of course, get it beyond the line of scrimmage,
right.
which, of course, he did with ease. Yeah, definitely. You wouldn't even know this guy was a sophomore the way he plays, and he is going to be the future for the Cleveland Storm.
6 of 8 in the passing game so far for Cleveland. 2nd down and 10, back of the 17-yard line. Babaha gets the handoff up the middle with the Hobbs Eagles there to straddle him down. Looked like he got across the line of scrimmage. Might have got a few yards on the play. Bunch of guys wrapping up his waist that time. Initial hit for the Eagles by Tristan Davis, the outside linebacker for the Eagles.
And we're expecting a lot from Tristan Davis as well as everybody else. Still waiting on that sack for Hernandez.
Yep, that would be a school record. 79 yards from Mbaha so far in this game on the ground. We said he comes in at 120 a contest on the rushing game. 3rd down and 8 from the 15-yard line of the Eagles. Left hash. Cleveland up 7-0 with 5:54 left, second quarter. Trips right, receiver left. Back in shotgun goes Hatch. Delay on the snap. Backs up about 3 on the shotgun. Throws it to the left flat. Caught by Maha at the 12. Shimmy and Shammer up across the left sideline. It gets bumped out of bounds at the 3, it looks like. Very close as he always trying to head to the end zone that time. Started at the, looks like the 16. There's a flag late on the play, so maybe an illegal block by Cleveland on this far left sideline in front of the rear bench. I haven't seen the signal.
Personal foul. Face mask.
Oh, that's going to be a tack on.
Yeah, and they do not. Cleveland did not need any extra help on that one. They already had close to a first down as it was.
They gave him 12 on that catch, a little screen to the left sideline, and it was down to the 4, so I think that's half the distance. So a 2 would probably be where they're marking it now.
Exactly. You're probably right about that, as always. When I talk about referees, I refer to you.
That'll be, it's like they put it at the 3 instead.
Right.
So a 3-yard penalty against the Eagles on the face mask. First down, though, for Cleveland. That is their 8th of the ball game. Hobbs at only 4 at this point. Now they're going to go with the triple I formation. I know you saw that, I think, against Artesia earlier this year, didn't they, Ron?
Exactly. And you never know if they're going to hand it to the first one, the third one, or how they're going to do that. Sometimes they run up the middle. Sometimes they do they go wide to the right or the left.
So they're going to move it up even further. The referees move it up to the 1.5-yard line. So triple I formation underneath the center is Hatch. He's going to pitch it to the third guy. It ricochets out the second running back and goes to the backfield. That hit off his left shoulder pad, the inside shoulder pad that time, and goes from the 1.5 back behind the 5. We're going to see where it actually came down and got recovered by Cleveland. Looks like it's going to be at the 8-yard line, so about -6 on that play on a bad pitch from Hatch. Hit right into his second running back, trying to get to the third guy who was running off to the right side of the field.
Yeah, it looks like it was Marcus LaQuesta that ended up dropping on that one after it was tried to be passed to him. Looked like it was just a little more trickery than they could handle.
So -6. Mabaha, I think, was the intended running back that time. So brings up a 2nd down and goal now from the 8-yard line. A little bit more of a delay this time to get the play right. Trips right. Waiting for shotgun. Is Hatch, looks over his coach, takes the shotgun, 4-step drop, fires down the middle on the slant route, catch near the goal line. Did he break the play? Waiting to see. That would be about a 16-yard play if they get it, and it looks like they're going to call it him breaking the plane. That's a touchdown pass reception. Angel Gallegos comes up with a score.
Yep, an 8-yard pass for the Cleveland Storm, taking advantage once again of the turnover that they received. And just like that, it is Cleveland Storm up big.
Second catch of the game for Gallegos. They're now 7 of 9 in the passing game. Our Cleveland winning the PAT here to increase to 14-0. Both teams have had several turnovers in this contest, so not helping their cause either. We got a flag here as the hike was right low, which is probably a good deal for Cleveland because that probably would have gotten blocked by the Hobbs Eagles, getting some good pressure in the backfield. And coming out to question the call, Coach Garza for Cleveland on this left sideline. And they're going to go back to the 10 to kick again. I guess the refs weren't ready on that last snap, so they'll get to redo it here as Miguel Quinones is out to kick once again, the senior. Good snap this time. Kick is up, and the kick is good. So 4:41 left here in the second quarter. Your Hobbs Eagles now trail 14-0. Turnovers have been the factor. 2 fumbles for Cleveland, 2 interceptions for the Eagles, but Cleveland has made big advantage of what they've had to offer in terms of the red zone. We'll be back in 30 seconds live on HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, Cool 95.7, and on the Cool 95.7 Facebook page.
Eunice Pump and Supply has been around for over 30 years and is excited to continue their services to the community. They take pride in their employees and their hard work and dedication, and most importantly, take pride in the youth of Lee County. Eunice Pump and Supply is a proud supporter of all Lee County athletics and academics. Eunice Pump and Supply, 1310 Avenue O in Eunice, another proud supporter of Lee County athletics.
Back live here at Lightning Bolt Stadium as your Hobbs Eagles now trail 14-0. Touchdown from Gallegos, an 8-yard pass from Hatch. Also a 4-yard run by Baja here in the second quarter. That's the point differential with 2 turnovers for both teams. Here comes the kickoff of the Storm. They keep it on the ground. A slider is loose for the Eagles. Cleveland slides on the turf and picks it up at the 34-yard line of the Eagles. That is the second time Hobbs has bobbled either a kickoff or a punt return and are paying the price on this one.
Yeah, that was a recovery by Marcus LaQuesta. He has been a star here in the for the Cleveland Storm, and once again is able to pounce on that unfortunate turnover once again for the Hobbs Eagles, and unable to even get on the field for the offense. Now they're going to be back on defense for the Eagles. 2
interceptions, a fumble. Had a fumble earlier on a punt return that was recovered, so I can guarantee the weather has something to do with that somewhat. Cleveland ball, they can actually mark it at the 35 of the Eagles on the left hash, leading 14-0 over Hobbs. Twins right, receiver left, shotgun for Hatch. Fakes the handoff, 3-step drop, rolls right, wants to throw, throws it on the run down the middle of the post route, jumping high in the air over the high jump bar that time and almost getting a catch at the 4-yard line, but that was overthrown. Davis went up high for it, and he wanted a flag, but he's not going to get it. He got between 2 defenders that time, back deep. Back there to try to be in the area in case he did catch it for Hobbs defensively was Gabe Henry.
It hit his hands. I'm not sure exactly what he'd be complaining about other than maybe he did jump just a second too soon. Like I said, it hit his hands, should have been able to catch that ball. That is on him, basically, for whether he caught it or not.
Jacob Diaz was back deep for Hobbs as well, the incomplete pass. Cleveland is now 7 of 10 in the passing game, 70%. Now from the 35 again, handoff around the right end to Babaha, puts on the brakes, then puts on the acceleration and goes forward. And it looks like he's going to get about 3, kind of a slow developing play that time, just waiting for his blocks to adjust out near the right hash marks that time. And it looks like they've already got 2 yards. They just had an update on that Rio Rancho game.
Cameron Hernandez was the one that got that stop on that one. And, yeah, what?
I think it said 17-0.
Oh, I didn't see that one. So, yeah, 17-0. Man, that is a good game for
Rio Rancho.
Rio Rancho.
Yeah, they're on the road in Albuquerque. Not much of a road trip as they're getting beat by Sandia. Trips left, receiver right. Third down and 8. High snap, rolling left. Hatch wants to throw, sets up at the 40, throws the comeback route to the 20 on the near left sideline. 15, a spin, and that'll be a first down.
Carter Welder, once again, all alone, nobody on him, and Hobbs just giving him a little bit too much room to play with. Not man-to-man, it was looking more like a zone, so yeah, he definitely had enough for that plus.
19 yards for him. He's got 4 catches so far for 55 yards. 9 first downs for Cleveland, and they are now 8 of 11 in the passing game. Ball's at the Eagle 14-yard line. They can get a first down at the 4. Left hash, trips right, receiver left, shotgun for Hatch. Has Baja right next to him on his right shoulder. Good snap, 3-step drop, make it 4. Steps up to the 20, throws on the run. On the quick out route, it's dropped in the turf on the 5. He no chance the receiver to come back to that one. As throwing on his back foot that time was Hatch toward the left side of the field. Stepped up right in the middle of the pocket that time and tried to unload to his receiver left, which was Josh Lyles, incomplete.
Exactly, who just went right under him. He was trying to throw low to get him to be able to get that only, but it was a little too low for him, a little too fast as well.
Second down and 10 from the 14-yard line. Trips right, one receiver short side left. Handoff around the left side to Mabaha. Tries to head out towards his Cleveland bench and takes a few wrap-ups with him out of bounds. He might have got at least a yard on the forward progress that time and has to get himself unwound from a Hobbs Eagle that was out there to give him a bear hug, of course, from the linebacking core, Gustavo Diaz-Castro. And looks like maybe no gain on the play that time. Yeah, he didn't get much. Actually moved him back to the 15, so -1 for Mumbaha.
Yeah, definitely got tackled behind the line of scrimmage, was able to get up enough for the get back on the line of scrimmage for a no loss.
74 yards in rushing for Mabaha. Trips right, receiver left. Back to shotgun is Hatch. Eagles going to load up the line with 6 players there. Rolling right is Hatch to the 20. Throws it on the run to the right corner of the end zone. And going out of bounds and making the catch first with a couple of stumble steps there. It is a touchdown. Carter Weddle again. That kid continues to be open. That's going to be a 14-yard pass. A rotation to the right side by Carter to hook up with him on that, or actually not Carter, that was a Hatch over to Weddle on the right side in the end zone.
Exactly, and yeah, that was a nice throw and a nice catch at the corner of the end zone, was able to get it in just beyond the reach of the defender.
69 yards of receptions on 5 catches for Weddle, and a touchdown now to make it 20-0. Waiting for the PAT, Miguel Quinones. High snap, kick is up, and the kick is good. Nice diving attempt at a swat at the ball that time for the Eagles. They've been getting through there, but they just cannot make the contact they need. That's that number 4 again, which is not on the roster this week. We'll take a quick break, 30 seconds, as your Eagles trail 21-0 with 2:53 left, second quarter. Back in 30 on the Hobbs Eagle Network.
Hobbs Rental wants to wish Lee County student athletes the best of luck as they take on challenges and experience success. The team of Hobbs Rental wants you to know that teamwork is everything. Hobbs Rental provides complete valve service, relief valve, vent valve, and thief hatch maintenance. BR certified and ISN approved. When you need the job done right the first time, call Hobbs Rental at 393-3085. Go Eagles!
Back live here in Rio Rancho, New Mexico. Your Hobbs Eagles trail 21-0 to number 1 seed Storm to Cleveland. 2:53 left, second quarter. A 14-yard pass play into the end zone to Weddle, and making that his 5th catch of the ball game. Definitely having a big one here off the arm of Hatch. Ready for the kickoff for Cleveland. From the 40-yard line. Nice little bouncer here. It's scooped up and off the chest piece again, and the Hobbs Eagles, they fumble at the 36-yard line, and once again, not concentrating on the football, ends up in a fumble on the special teams. Way too many times this time.
High school sports build character and responsibility. That's why Albertsons Market congratulates and encourages the Hobbs Eagles in their quest for a state basketball championship, saying, "We're behind you all the way. Go Eagles!" You too can show your support for the Hobbs Eagles with Hobbs Eagles Black and Gold apparel. A large selection of Eagles shirts and caps to choose from at your Hobbs Albertsons Market. You're in for something fresh at Albertsons Market, corner of North Grimes and Bender. Do you go back and forth about a good place to eat? Well, Outlaw Grill has you covered. Outlaw Grill guarantees to hit the spot every single time. If you want a good mouth-watering burger or a steak, they have it. Seafood or pasta, Outlaw has it. And don't forget to check out Bigadame's Pizzeria just down the street for the best pizza. Place your order today. Outlaw Grill and Bigadame's Pizzeria.
But 4 turnovers in the first half, 2 for Cleveland. It was looking good for Hobbs early, but now they're starting to have the problem with the weather and not getting their hands and concentrating on the football.
Yeah, we saw it on Storm. They were having similar issues. They were able to at least overcome them and keep the ball. Hobbs, on the other hand, this is the second time in a row where you see a kickoff. It bounces off the player, and it just goes too far in front. Nobody able to recover it other than the Storm, and they are taking advantage of that big time. In fact, they score again, it'll be 28-0, and Hobbs is definitely going to have to do some major adjusting to be able to get back in this game in the second half. Well, either way, they will.
Cleveland called the timeout to get their offense set properly, as Coach Garza did not want to see any sloppiness out there for the number 1 seed in the state. Cleveland Storm, of course, have won the last 3 state championships, barring the one from COVID. They didn't have a championship that year. And this program is one of the youngest programs in the state. I mean, they've still got some years under their belts now, but they still one of the younger squads.
Yeah, 2009 was when they were formed. They only missed the first year of the playoffs. After that, they've been in the playoffs every single year, and they've been definitely dominating in this sport.
The unique thing about it was their first 1 or 2 seasons, they were just sophomores because they had to split with Rio Rancho, and they let the Cleveland keep the sophomores the first year. I don't know if it happened the second year, but they were at a big disadvantage that first year. After that, they got things going in the right direction.
Exactly. Then all of a sudden, with the coach the way they were, and Coach Garza has been with the program ever since. He's been throughout, and he knows exactly. This is the reason why he was excited to become part of the Cleveland Storm as far as the head coach. He knew what he was getting into, and he knew the direction he wanted to go.
Long delay to get this next play started, but I guess they're waiting for the media like us to be back on. We've been on gabbing for about 2 minutes or so. 1st and 10 for Cleveland at the Hobbs Eagle 36. Trips right, receiver left. Hatch will hand it off to Mubaha, dragging people with his ankles, breaks away and dives hard to the 30 to the left side. And he continues to keep going. He doesn't come down easy up with the Hobbs Eagles on top of it.
No, he was twisting and turning and just maneuvering forward. Got an extra few yards because of that maneuver.
He's got 81 yards on the ground. Quick offense here. 2nd down and 4 now for the Hobbs Eagle 30. Shotgun back to Mohabaha up the middle. Sees the gap and pulls more guys with him. No, will not get the first time down that time. A 3-yard pickup going straight ahead in the gap. And the Hobbs Eagles come up underneath to put him down before that first down marker, and stepping up quickly for Hobbs from the right side. I guess they gave it to him on that one. Coming over was Tristan Davis. So that's going to be 3 from Mabaha. That is the 10th first down for Cleveland now at the Eagle 26-yard line on the left hash. Twins right, 2 receivers left as well. Back in shotgun is Hatch with Mabaha. Gets a good step, 3-step drop, steps up in the pocket. He's going to flow right now with the football. He has some open space, 30, 25, fakes the throw, gets tripped up and goes down at the 20. So he'll get about 6 on the slide after that. He kind of lost his balance. Somebody got his knee and kind of flipped it up in the air. But he gets positive yardage out of that one. A big gap over on that right sideline in front of the Hobbs Eagle bench, and he saw that space out there and actually going to give him 7.
Yeah, one of his first runs that I've seen in this game especially. He got 8 yards off that one, and it could have been better, but it also could have been a lot worse. He was hit a couple of times and was able to bounce off those tackles.
He was dropped in the backfield for -7. He gets 7 there, so he evens it up to 0 now. 2nd down and 3 for Cleveland at the Eagle 20. Man in motion right to left to make it trips left receivers. He wants to look to the left side of the pass, throws it on the post route, but the receiver gets tangled up at the 10-yard line. Good defense by the Eagles to stop his progression there, as riding right with him that time. Middle of the field was Javen Hernandez, the deep DB on the play, and incomplete. The ball was fired outside, and the pass pattern to the inside on the post.
Looked like almost Carlos Jimenez had a piece of that. Could have actually gotten it. Would have been bad field position, but of course he could have run it after the play. Still, though, very close, but not quite an interception.
Cleveland 10 of 15 in the passing game now. They just hit on 60% of their passes this season. 3rd down and 3 now from the Hobbs Eagle 19.5-yard line. Still 21-0 Cleveland. 43 seconds left here in the first half. Twins left, make it trips left, 1 receiver right. Shotgun back to Hatch. He'll throw the quick curl route, and going down on one knee to make the catch at the 14. It is good for the play. And as Gallegos gets about a 5-yarder on that one, he just kind of put his knee down and waited for the ball to come to his numbers. 3 catches for 21 yards for Gallegos. 11 first downs for Cleveland now. They are 11 of 16. Go from the 14-yard line, back to pass. Hatch dumps in the right flat to Bumbaha, goes up the far right sideline, puts his head down and gets across the 10. And that's going to be a 5-yarder. It stays in bounds. And actually now the official's going to stop the play. See where they're going to mark this at. So they're going to give him 4 yards on that one on the screen pass. 2 catches for 16 yards from Baja.
And that looked like it was stopped by Zayden McPherson once again out on the field after missing a couple of games due to injury.
Ball placed at the 10-yard line. They can get a first down at the 4, so they need about 6 on this one.
Oh, and there it is. Rio Rancho 24, Sandia nothing at the end of the half.
Another quarterfinal game going on in Albuquerque tonight. 2nd down and 7. Back to pass is Hatch, 3-step drop out of the shotgun, throws the drag route from right to left, middle of the field, and kind of sliding to the left side. Ball was thrown behind him and incomplete off the fingertips of Jaden Davis. He would have probably been to the end zone if he continued down the field to the far left sideline. No defenders out there to get him, but ball was thrown behind.
Yeah, Hobbs got lucky on that one. Like you said, it was thrown behind him, but definitely if he had to grab that one, he would have just been able to get about 4 more yards and end zone bound.
3rd down and 7 from the 10-yard line. Clock stopped on the incomplete pass with 23.9 remaining in the second, and the Storm leading Hobbs 21-0.
Trying to get one more score before the end of the half.
make it close to a mercy roll heading into the second half of action. Twins left and right. Back in shotgun goes Tash with Mbauha. Three-step drop in the pocket. Going to throw it to the left corner of the end zone. A flag route, and it's overthrown to the sideline of the end zone to the left. As heading out there for Cleveland was Jaden Davis. No chance to get that one. And riding him from behind, good job of defense in case that ball was thrown short, possibly an INT situation out there in the deep secondary.
Yeah,
double checking who that is back there.
Looked like it was a timing route. He just threw it up for grabs, and his receiver just could not make it there to the point where the ball was going to be.
Bryson Avila was the defender there. It looks like Cleveland's going to try a field goal. They're back at the 17 is where the ball will be placed down. A 27-yard attempt here. As we wait the possibility of a kick from Miguel Quinones. Kick is up. Diving attempt for a swat is no good, but the kick is up and good. So that'll be a 27-yard field goal, and it'll be 24-0. Cleveland up on Hobbs. 19 seconds left in the first half. We'll come back in 30 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network.
We know that you want to make the most out of your time. At Lee County State Bank, we believe banking should be quick and easy. That's why we're proud to provide video banking to our customers. Save time and a trip to the bank, and meet with a video banker instead. Getting started is easy. Download the LCSB Connect app, create a profile, bank from anywhere. Not a customer yet? No problem. You can use a video banking app to open an account too. Download the app today and start banking from anywhere.
Visit onlinelcsb.com. Lee County State Bank, member FDIC.
Back here in Rio Rancho as the Hobbs Eagles trail 24-0. All four scores for Cleveland in the second quarter. 4-yard run for Babaha, 8-yard pass to Gallegos, 14-yard pass to Weddle, and a 27-yard field goal just kicked by the Storm by Quinones. And there's your numbers all in the second quarter, 24-0. Again, Eagles definitely being haunted by turnovers, 2 fumbles, and 2 INTs, Ron.
Yeah, plus the fact that they have not touched the ball on the offensive side in quite a long time, simply because they just cannot handle the kickoff.
Here we go, another kickoff. This is a little bit more air into it. It wobbles towards the 25. It goes out of bounds. Nobody gets a touch on it. So Hobbs would probably elect to take it at the 35 to finally get an offensive set out on the field.
Yeah, but unfortunately with just under 20 seconds to go, they have very little time. Even if they have 3 timeouts, which they do, it is still going to be difficult for them to get it down the field. But I'm sure they're going to try 1 or 2 times. You can bet that they're going to at least try to pass it down the field to see what they can get done.
Technically, that was the first penalty of the game for Cleveland for 9 yards, as that ball went out about the 26, and Hobbs elected to go ahead and take the ball at the 35, so net gain of 9 on that one. The Eagles can get their offense back onto the field. They trail 24-0. As you mentioned, a long time since they've had a chance to play offense here. 2 receivers left, 2 to the right side for the white and gold tonight. Black helmets for the Eagles. Back in shotgun goes Callaway. Finally get to call some offensive players here. Armendariz back there with him on the left shoulder. Shotgun low, fake the handoff. Callaway's going to go up the gut with it and goes hard straight up and takes on a couple of defenders across the line of scrimmage. He's going to get about 2 as he drug some guys behind him.
Yeah, that was they were going to try to see if they can get the defense off balance. Did not work, and he did get a few, but not enough for even close to being a first down. And now that's the time.
Simone Kegler, the defensive end, makes the wrap up there. 2-yard pickup for Callaway, but that does run out the clock here at Lightning Bolt Stadium in Rio Rancho. The Cleveland Storm, number 1 ranked team in the state, 24. Your Hobbs Eagles, nothing. The quarterfinals of the 6A continue. We'll be back in 3 minutes with all the halftime numbers. You're listening live to Hobbs Eagle Playoff Football on the radio, KOOL 95.7, on the internet, HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and the KOOL 95.7 Facebook page.
TDS Internet makes our everyday smarter, whether working and playing, laughing and sharing, living and learning. It's all better with TDS Internet because it's faster, more reliable. It's internet that makes a difference. For home, for business, for life. Say hello to internet that hits different. Say hello to TDS. Visit hellotds.com today. Subject to availability, see website for details.
Congratulations, students and student athletes of Lee County. R360 congratulates all Jal, Eunice, Hobbs, Lovington, Tatum, and the surrounding high schools, and wishes the best of luck to our student athletes competing this week in state playoffs. Right now, 360.
Lasco Construction is a proud partner in education in Lee County. Lasco Construction is your hometown construction company. Lasco Construction encourages you and business owners to support Tatum, Jal, Lovington, Eunice, and Hobbs businesses. Buy as much as you can locally, which is why Lasco Construction always supports the youth of Lee County. Lasco Construction supports you. Call 393-9161 for all your construction needs. Support your community.
The people who care at RMS Foods Incorporated in Hobbs would like to take this special time out to recognize and salute the men and women in uniform who are standing tall for our political and economic freedom around the globe. Let's remember them in our thoughts, prayers, and letters from home. That's from RMS Foods Incorporated, where they say service isn't just a courtesy, it's a commitment. For more information, call 575-397-1908. That's 575-397-1908 for RMS Foods Incorporated at 817 North Grimes Street in Hobbs.
For all your grocery specials, shop Thriftway and La Tienda in Hobbs. The best deals in fresh produce, fresh meat and vegetables, frozen and dairy, health and beauty, and so much more. With the friendliest and most knowledgeable staff, Thriftway and La Tienda. For all your grocery specials, come on down to La Tienda, 400 East Marland, and Thriftway, 1317 North Turner in Hobbs. Best of luck, Eagles, from all of your friends at Thriftway and La Tienda grocery stores.
Is your cost of rent through the roof? It might make sense to buy a home instead. If you're still renting and never thought you could afford a home, right now you may want to call your friends at Robinson & Associates. Robinson & Associates offers free consultations in English and in Spanish. Robinson & Associates want to guide you through the entire process and make it as simple as possible. Call Robinson & Associates today at 392-0266. That's 575-392-0266. Call Robinson & Associates today and let them earn your trust.
Eunice Pump and Supply has been around for over 30 years and is excited to continue their services to the community. They take pride in their employees and their hard work and dedication, and most importantly, take pride in the youth of Lee County. Eunice Pump and Supply is a proud supporter of all Lee County athletics and academics. Eunice Pump and Supply, 1310 Avenue O in Eunice, another proud supporter of Lee County athletics.
Hobbs Rental wants to wish Lee County student athletes the best of luck as they take on challenges and experience success. The team of Hobbs Rental wants you to know that teamwork is everything. Hobbs Rental provides complete valve service, relief valve, vent valve, and thief hatch maintenance. BR certified and ISN approved. When you need the job done right the first time, call Hobbs Rental at 393-3085. Go Eagles!
High school sports build character and responsibility. That's why Albertsons Market congratulates and encourages the Hobbs Eagles in their quest for a state basketball championship, saying, "We're behind you all the way. Go Eagles!" You too can show your support for the Hobbs Eagles with Hobbs Eagles Black and Gold apparel. A large selection of Eagles shirts and caps to choose from at your Hobbs Albertsons Market. You're in for something fresh at Albertsons Market, corner of North Grimes and Bender.
Welcome back to halftime here in Rio Rancho, Lightning Bolt Stadium. The Cleveland Storm leading your Hobbs Eagles 24-0. All the scoring for the Storm in the second quarter. Nothing going on in the first quarter for either team due to a lot of turnovers. Cleveland had a 4-yard run from Mumbaha to make it 7-0 to start the second with 8:24 remaining. Then an 8-yard pass from Hatch to Gallegos. That was for a 14-0 score. 14-yard pass to Weddle from Hatch, 21-0. And then a 27-yard field goal from Miguel Quinones with 19 seconds left in the second to make it the 24-0 lead for Cleveland. And boy, the start of the ball game, 2 turnovers for Cleveland, 2 fumbles. But the Hobbs Eagles started to see some problems on kick returns, punt returns. They had a couple of fumbles that were recovered, but then also 2 fumbles taken back by Cleveland. One was a roller, the other one was a little bit airborne, and both hit on the near right sideline off numbers and off knees both times, and recovered for Cleveland. And then also 2 INTs. So 4 turnovers for Hobbs, 2 for Cleveland, and of course that's led to a 24-0 score.
And it was basically it was Cleveland who did it, like you said. They started off with the bad kickoffs, weren't able to handle them. Then Hobbs, for some reason, said, "Oh yeah, we can do a little bit better with that." Just cannot seem to corral those, whether it be the cold weather, whatever the reason it is. It has caused Hobbs to not be able to get on the offensive side of this. And, of course, if you're not on offense, you're not scoring any points. And defense has not been able to slow down this Cleveland Storm enough. So in the second quarter, they had 10 unanswered points, 24 altogether for this game.
Actually, one of the fumbles that Hobbs had recovered was a strip, so that was a good defensive play there. Another one just a bobble by Cleveland to give it up to the Eagles, so one of those a defensive cause situation. Let's look at the numbers in this game. Kind of similar type rushing game so far in terms of numbers. First for Cleveland, Mubaha, 18 carries for 84 yards. He did finish up with a 4-yard touchdown in the first half. He had a long of 25, another run for 13, but he has been dropped in the backfield a couple of times, -5 and -6. So if the Eagles can continue to get some penetration, maybe can shut him down a little bit. The problem with him is he doesn't go down quickly.
No.
He shimmies and shakes. Once you get a piece of him, if you try to reach the jersey, he's going to get around you. Likes to kick out and then cut back too. So definitely something they're going to have to work on is watch the hips, not the feet, because the feet are going to take you away all the time.
Well, of course, as always, if you want to stop a runner, you got to stop his legs from moving. You can't get him above what he's been doing before. He twisted a couple of times. He turned. Like you said, he's shimmy, shaking, and getting away with everything. Is making those extra yards and making Hobbs pay for that. So all you have to do is just wrap him up by the legs. You cannot run once your legs are constricted. And that's what Hobbs needs to do, is to be able to slow him down, stop him that way.
Yeah, restricting the legs also leads to gang tackling. Got to get some more jerseys over there to make the play.
Right.
We did see him a few times getting ready to go down to the turf, and then he kind of lunges like towards the goal line and placing the ball 3 yards ahead of him with the knee not going down. And they got a touchdown out of that, too. So you got to watch him close to the goal line, too.
Exactly.
Hasn't really destroyed the Eagles, though. I mean, we were expecting some, 120-plus a game. He's already at 84, so that's some solid numbers. But he's had to work for him and getting a lot of body motion to get that. So 84 yards on the ground. Hatch, the quarterback, was dropped in the backfield for -7, but then gained 7 on another running play, so he's at 0 right now. So it's all Mubaha, but that's no special secret there. We talked about in the pregame. We expect to see him with the ball a lot. So 84 rushing yards first half for Cleveland. Passing game has really lit up for them. A lot of guys getting involved. In fact, they've had 5 receivers involved, and 4 of those have had multiple catches in this game. The quarterback, Hatch, 12 of 18 so far in the passing game. Their leader in yards, at least, Weddle, 5 catches for 69 yards. 3 of those were double digits, 25, 19, and then the 14-yard catch in the right side of the end zone for his 5 total catches. Really doing a good job getting open against the Hobbs Eagle defense. After him, some other guys with catches. Gallegos, 3 for 21. It was LaQuesta getting 1 for 18. Mubaya, actually, he doesn't get a lot of reception attempts in most games, but he had 2 for 16 in this one, including a 12-yarder, and Lyles put one down for 12. So they are 12 of 18 for 136 yards in the first half of action so far in this ball game. 220 total offensive yards for Cleveland compared to the Hobbs Eagles. We'll get to their 52 here in just a minute. 2 turnovers for Cleveland, those 2 fumbles, only 1 penalty, which was a kick out of bounds for 9 yards, and they had a total of 12 first downs compared to 4. And again, their first couple of drives not going very far, Ron. Of course, the turnovers were hurting them bad, but then after about that third drive, Cleveland was on hitting all cylinders and just kind of moving the ball down the field to the red zone. But they were getting some gifts where they were getting the ball off the Eagle turnovers.
Exactly, and it could be a different situation altogether, unfortunately, for Hobbs if they had had a chance to get at least a couple of those drives started with their offense. But again, it's hard to do anything at all on your offense if the ball doesn't come to you, if it goes and gets taken away from you by the storm, which they're definitely storming. They stormed around in the second quarter, were able to make it their own, and definitely have Hobbs on the reeling end of this game so far.
Now, you talk about fumbles on kick returns, punt returns. It's pretty hard to practice those at halftime. Now, if you have issues with snaps or handoffs, you can be in the field house there, work on that stuff, in a warm environment, still get those hands ready to go and maybe get out here and keep them warm for a little time out there.
Right.
But, in terms of kickoffs and punt returns and things like that, especially the ones that are on the ground or that shimmy and hit hard and bounce or whatever, tough to recreate that in the field house. So they're not going to have much time to correct those.
Right.
Concentration's been a problem, though. We can complain about cold hands all we want up here, but at the same time, guys are watching the ball come down. I don't know if they're looking around to see who's going to come hit him or what. It seems like a few times here on the near sideline, they might have just lost their eyesight and lost the ball when it came right to them, and then looking up to see who's coming at them.
That's always a possibility. But also remember, it wasn't that long ago during the offense when there was a bad handoff. We lost the ball, but fortunately, Solomon Medeiros was able to jump on it before anything happened. But yeah, it seems to be that controlling the ball, as we talked about earlier, where they were early in the season, Hobbs had a lot of problems with that. We're making some mistakes, and it was costing them. We were hoping that they had, since they were hitting on all cylinders on all 3 aspects of the game, they would be able to control those turnovers. But unfortunately, it has worked against them, and it's definitely going to be something they need to clean up for if they want to get anywhere close to being in this game now.
A bunch of those kicks coming to the home sideline as well. You got a bunch of blue jerseys standing there, and it's kind of depth perception for the return man, kind of figuring out, who's around me, and he hears people yelling at him from the sideline. So a lot of confusion out there, and definitely going to have to discuss that at halftime. Hobbs' offense, though, on the ground, led by Armendariz as expected, 12 carries for 48 yards in this game. He's yet to score, of course. His big run was for 20, had also a 13 and a 12-yarder in the first half, but has been dropped in the backfield about 4 or 5 times so far. Not tons of yardage against him in that minus 13, but sometimes you can't do anything about it when you got a bunch of guys coming at you. Storm has a great quick start from the line of scrimmage. We knew that coming in. 2 of their defensive line have a ton of sacks on the season, so that's their bread and butter there. Kind of the same situation for Hobbs' offense, too. Their quarterback was dropped in the backfield, Callaway, for 9, then came back with 2 carries for 9, so he's at 0, just like his counterpart is for Cleveland, Hatch, who has 0 also in the first half. So 48 yards in rushing for the Eagles, all coming in the hands of Armendariz. On the passing side, nothing going on whatsoever. 2 of 5 so far for the Eagles. 2-yarder for Jaquez, and Black got a 2-yarder as well. Some very short stuff at this point, and just nothing much going for the passing game. With the weather as it is right now, there's no precip in the area, but in terms of the coldness of the hands, that might have something to do with it. But only 4 first downs for the Eagles in the first half compared to 12 for Cleveland. Hobbs ended up with 52 yards in offense, 48 in the run, 4 in the passing game. Eagles have turned it over 4 times, 2 fumbles, 2 INTs. They punted twice, so there you go. 4 of your possessions have gone for knots at this point, and they've only had 3 penalties, though, for a total of 13 yards. So that has been one good area we've seen so far. But I'm sure a lot of discussion about concentration. Get your mind off the weather. Just concentrate on that football. Is going to make hopefully some inroads in the second half.
Exactly. They definitely want to talk about the fact that we need to have the ball first on the offensive side to be able to score if they cannot get it done on the defense. The defense is doing a good job, but not a great job to slow down the Storm in the second half. Of course, it's also, again, very difficult to stop a team when they're already in your in your field and have a very short field to work with. All they have to do is just get a couple of good plays. They have been. I think the other problem is it kind of looks like Hobbs is playing a little too much prevent, giving them too much space, too much of a cushion. They need to go ahead and limit that cushion to where if they do catch the ball, either they can disrupt the play or get them to stop before they get that first down. I think that's what they need to do.
And just a reminder, 2 fumbles for Cleveland in that early part of the first half.
Right.
It is 24-0 in favor of the Cleveland Storm. We'll take another 3-minute break and come back with your second half action live on the Hobbs Eagle Network.
Do you go back and forth about a good place to eat? Well, Outlaw Grill has you covered. Outlaw Grill guarantees to hit the spot every single time. If you want a good mouth-watering burger or a steak, they have it. Seafood or pasta, Outlaw has it. And don't forget to check out Bigadame's Pizzeria just down the street for the best pizza. Place your order today. Outlaw Grill and Bigadame's Pizzeria.
We know that you want to make the most out of your time. At Lee County State Bank, we believe banking should be quick and easy. That's why we're proud to provide video banking to our customers. Save time and a trip to the bank and meet with a video banker instead. Getting started is easy. Download the LCSB Connect app, create a profile, bank from anywhere. Not a customer yet? No problem. You can use a video banking app to open an account too. Download the app today and start banking from anywhere.
Visit onlinelcsb.com. Lee County State Bank, member FDIC.
TDS Internet makes our everyday smarter. Whether working and playing, laughing and sharing, living and learning, it's all better with TDS Internet because it's faster, more reliable. It's internet that makes a difference. For home, for business, for life. Say hello to internet that hits different. Say hello to TDS. Visit hellotds.com today. Subject to availability, see website for details.
Congratulations, students and student athletes of Lee County. Our 360 congratulations message is brought to you by R360.
Back here in Rio Rancho, the Hobbs Eagles trailing number 1 Cleveland 24-0 here at the half. We're about 2 minutes left of the warm-up period here to get ready for third quarter action. And right before the half, talking about differentials in the game. 4 turnovers for the Eagles, 2 for Cleveland. Hobbs did have a little bit of advantage early on, but unfortunately their turnovers started to catch them up in terms of the negative side of the game, and Cleveland with that 24-point lead. Ron, bunch of blowouts going on in the quarterfinals around the state so far tonight that we've been getting some updates on.
Yeah, well, I had a feeling that La Cueva would be something of a mismatch against Farmington, and so far they have. 31-6 is the halftime score. La Cueva is up big. Another one that's close, though, that we also figured out that would be close, Las Cruces Centennial. They were tied at 21. But at the they got to the halftime with Las Cruces with a 3-point lead, 24-21 over that one.
And that one's close because that's an arch rival from the same district, also being played at the Field of Dreams, so that's a hometown game going on there.
Exactly. You can consider both of them basically home because, it's both, like you said, on the Field of Dreams. Roswell blowing out Mayfield. We knew that would be something that could happen too. 36-0 over Mayfield at the half. Rio Rancho also winning big over Sandia at the half. 24-0, and so it looks like, unless, in fact, this is the same score as what we have here, 24-0. So Sandia also in the hole trying to get out of it, just like Hobbs is. And we've got a very small score in Bernalillo, where Portales, actually I think it's in Portales. Portales is winning 3-0 over Bernalillo.
You mentioned the Sandia game. Boys, Sandia's the number 4 seed. That would be an upset for Rio Rancho to win there in Albuquerque tonight, so in that contest. So that's kind of an interesting game there, and especially the fact that the Hobbs Eagles beat Rio Rancho here on this Cleveland field a few weeks back with the upset by 3 points.
Yeah, but we also knew that Sandia had a kind of a weak schedule. They did do well as far as, I think they were 8-2 for the season, but they didn't have very big score or wins as far as they didn't have anybody major to play.
Strength of schedule.
So, so the strength of schedule plus the fact that, like I said, they didn't have anybody to play, and it just looked like it was an easier road for them than anybody else. And I think this is the reason why Sandia is down 24-0.
Well, looking at the two districts of the Hobbs Eagles and the Cleveland Storm, Cleveland had 3 teams from their district make the playoffs. Cleveland, of course, themselves outscoring their district opponents 189-25 this season, so dominating big. They were the number 1 seed. Rio Rancho came in at number 5, and Volcano Vista, the number 3 team out of their district, at number 6. From the Hobbs district, Centennial, 5-0 record. They were 184-65 in scoring against their district opponents. Las Cruces, number 2. And the Hobbs Eagles at number 3. But actually, Centennial number 2 seed, Las Cruces number 7 seed, and the Hobbs Eagles number 8. Of course, with the 8 seed, they got to host last week with that big win, Mercy Rule style, over Clovis. Hobbs will have to kick off, unfortunately. I kind of wonder if they might go with an onside, trailing 24-0. And here we go for the kickoff. And it will be Sidewinder, caught at the 15, up the left hash mark, 20, 25, 30. Come back to the middle, 35, and a good field position for Cleveland at the 37. Eagles finally get some hands on him. And that was Weddle, their receiver, that came up with that one. Hobbs throws him down with a big bear hug there. And I believe that was Sammy Baeza was the one that made the big. They had some number changes, so we're trying to check our other roster that we were handed earlier tonight. So Sammy Baeza with the wrap-up on the coverage for the Hobbs Eagles. Now, defense out on the field. They had a lot of time there late in the second. That's something they don't want to have happen in the second half.
Yeah, and we thought that, or at least I thought anyway, that bye week was going to give a little rust to Cleveland. But so far they have not shown any rust at all.
Except the first quarter.
Yeah, except for they were slow in the first quarter, but still, they still played very well. They were going down the field. They just were losing the ball.
1st and 10 from the 38-yard line. They go with the handoff to the right side, and the man is going to get it. He's headed to the near sideline. Gets pulled down by the helmet. I don't know if the ref saw that or not. Bueja was the one who carried it, like we saw in the first half, at 84 yards on the ground, and this time he's got 3 for 2nd down and 7 now.
Jacob Diaz is the one that ripped him down to the ground, was making sure that he did not get any more yards than he needed to.
19 carries, 87 yards from Bueja. He, of course, we mentioned 120-plus in terms of average yards a game. Twins left, no receiver to the right side. Shotgun, Hatch will hand it off to Bueja. He cuts up the middle, down to the right sideline, and pulled down at the 45. So he kind of somersaults ahead for another 5.
And that looked like it was Tristan Davis as well as Zayden McPherson bringing him down on that one.
So going to be 3rd and short, 3rd and 2 now at the 46 of Cleveland, who leads 24-0 here in the 3rd. Of course, a very fast-moving clock in that first half.
Exactly. Well, not a lot of passes, definitely not a lot of drop passes, and so, that's the reason why.
Eagles have 5 in the front defensive box. Shotgun to Hatch. spins and hands it off around the right end of Bobea, heads to the sideline, tiptoes to the 40, 35, breaks up 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown. Got caught in traffic, and the Hobbs Eagles lost track of him. He'll be in for a 53-yard scamper up the near sideline in front of the Cleveland bench.
And just like that, just when you thought, okay, maybe Hobbs can get back into it, defense is going to need to get a stop. That did not happen.
Second touchdown of the game. He had a 4-yarder back in the first half, and the score now 30-0 in favor of Cleveland. Just a few points away from the mercy rule, which would be 35 to run the clock. But Cleveland seems like they've gotten themselves back on track after a not very stellar first quarter with those 2 fumbles.
Correct.
They're back on track, and they scored 4 times in the second quarter, 3 touchdowns and a field goal. And here's the kick for the PAT. It's up, and it is good inside the right upright. 10:38 remaining in the third. Cleveland up 31-0 over your Hobbs Eagles. We'll take a 30-second break and come back on HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and the KOOL 95.7 Facebook page on the internet, and on the radio at KOOL 95.7.
Lasco Construction is a proud partner in education in Lee County. Lasco Construction is your hometown construction company. Lasco Construction encourages you and business owners to support Tatum, Jow, Lovington, Eunice, and Hobbs businesses. Buy as much as you can locally, which is why Lasco Construction always supports the youth of Lee County. Lasco Construction supports you. Call 393-9161 for all your construction needs. Support your community.
31-0 here in Rio Rancho. A cold night for football here on November 10th, the day before Veterans Day, by the way. We should say Happy Veterans Day, all the vets, past vets, current vets, and, of course, defending this country and making sure we have games like this on a football field to play with the freedom and independence from the rest of the world.
Exactly, and there's going to be a nice Veterans Day parade tomorrow in Hobbs, as well as some other activities going on throughout the day.
Yeah, that'll be at 10 o'clock tomorrow in Hobbs, and VFW getting involved as well. The onside kick again for Cleveland to keep it rolling across the 20 left side, scooped up at the 15, brought to the middle, to the far side, continuing to extend out is Hawkes to the far side, 15-20, and slides out of bounds at about the 22.
Yeah, could not find an opening like he wanted to. So just got a couple of yards after that long run.
And where has Hawkes been in the first half? Not saying it's his fault, but I'm just saying we haven't said his name hardly at all in that first half of action.
Right. I mean, he was getting a couple of those kickoffs, but lately they've been kicking away from him, look like.
I'm even talking about the offense, though. I mean, the receiver, we're getting handoffs around the end on the reverses and going out for pass plays. Haven't seen any real connect.
A little fumble on the ball there, too.
Yeah. 2 for 5, though, the Hobbs Eagles in the passing game at this point for 4 yards. It definitely needs to turn around and get back in this one. Eagle football at the 21-yard line of their own. 1st and 10. Twins left and right. Callaway will get the shotgun. 3-step drop. Slides left. He's going to fire to the curl route to the 25 on the left hash. A big leaping catch there. Going to be about a 4-yard pickup and got his back ripped from behind. Looks like Black comes up with that one. Let's see how they're going to mark on this one. It started from the 21, and they're going to put it at the 27. So they're going to give him, looks like, 6 yards for Black. That'll be his second catch for 8 yards. Eagles 3 for 6 in the passing game. Trips right, receiver left. Hobbs with only 8 yards in reception so far. Callaway taking a hard snap count here, trying to get an easy 5-yard penalty, but Cleveland is staying very flat-footed here, not going to move an inch.
No, they're not. They are very disciplined as far as that.
As you said in the pregame show, still 3 on the front line for Cleveland. Going to give the handoff up the middle. Armendariz, stutter steps, trying to head right, and he's going to get mad at the line of scrimmage. I don't think he got much forward progress on that one. Good penetration for Cleveland with their very strong defensive line. Guy getting in there quick for the Storm was Nathaniel Perry. A couple other guys, Medrano also getting in there. See how many yards the Eagles get on that one. Looks like back to the line of scrimmage. That's about it for Armendariz. Had 48 yards at the half, and he'll stay at that point right now. Maybe they gave him forward progress. Looks like 1 for Armendariz on that play. 3rd down and about 2.5 now for the Eagles at their own 27, 28-yard line. Back to pass. Screen pass to the right side, 25. Trying to pump his legs to get to the first down marker. But it looks like Armendariz will be behind the line of scrimmage on that far sideline in front of the Hobbs Eagle bench. Are they going to actually drop him back a couple of yards? Nope, they're going to say he got to the line. I don't know how that happened. Looked like he was backpedaling a little bit, but no gain on the play for Armendariz on the catch.
It's going to be quickly a 4th and 3 for them. They're going to go ahead and go for it. They can't afford to another punt, although now it looks like they're going to talk about it. No, it looks like they're just going to go ahead and get the punting team out there. and put it back on the defense's shoulders.
Eagles 4 for 7 in the passing game so far for a total of 8 yards. They got Davis back deep at the 35 for Cleveland. They're having some issues. They don't have enough personnel in the field, and they had to hurry up and get somebody from the sideline to come in. And good job taking control for his Hobbs Eagles out on the field. The punter, that was Brock Beatty, yelling to the sideline, we're missing a player. They have to call a timeout not to take a 5-yard penalty. They're deep back of the 27-yard line. Don't want to go back any further. Actually, the 28. Stopped the clock at 9:03 left, third quarter, 31-0 Cleveland. Another score, at least a touchdown, would put this into mercy roll.
Right.
So Hobbs will have to get a good punt on this one. And boy, we knew that coming into November, these weeks are getting colder and colder. The sun comes down quicker.
Right.
But both teams are having to play in the situation.
Exactly. It's not just one side that has to do it. And we talked about this too. About it affects the ball, it affects your hands, it affects everything at all. But you have to be prepared for it. You know it's going to happen. You just got to be willing to play with it, through it. And unfortunately, it's just not working for the Hobbs Eagles at this point. They need to get back into it, do it now.
What about tomorrow night? We'll talk about this later, but the Hobbs boys soccer team going to play in some cold conditions tomorrow, 5:30, though, a little bit later.
Exactly, but luckily they don't have to use their hands nearly as much as what we see.
They better not use their hands except the goalie.
Exactly.
We'll talk about that matchup tomorrow night at UNM Soccer Stadium. Eagles in the punt situation, 4th down and 2 at their own 28-yard line, trailing 31-0 here in the third. Fake the snap back to the punter. Looks like they're going to just do a quick snap closer up and a dive towards the first down mark. We're going to see if they're going to get it here.
It's going to be very close depending on where they spot it.
Yep, they're going to.
Yes.
It looked like a direct snap. I believe they came up with the football so close to the line of scrimmage. Looked like Tristan Davis was the man that plowed ahead. He gets the 2 yards he needed. We'll have to double check if that was him, though, but he was in the punt team. 2-yard pickup. That will be a first down. So the Eagles will keep possession. Will have another fresh downs to go with now at the 32-yard line. So that actually was a 4-yard pickup for the Eagles on that 4th down situation. Shotgun low. Callaway picks it up. He's going to throw it down the far right sideline with a spiral, but out of bounds by about 5 yards at the 35 of Cleveland, and boy, he was 1-on-2 coverage there that time for the Hobbs Eagle receiver that was trying to get through the distance there and try to get himself open, but chucked hard outside and not able to come up with it. And I'll see if that was Hawkes, I believe, that was out there.
No, Hawkes was in the middle. He actually was nearly open. If Callaway would have seen it, he could have gotten it to Hawkes and maybe made a first down as well, but did not. Threw it to the outside instead, and it was off a little
Amarian Kennedy was the intended receiver. 4 for 8 now are the Hobbs Eagles in the passing game. Trips left, receiver right. They're looking back at Coach Stevens. He's all the way back at the 15-yard line. The Eagles up at the 32 right now. So they had to look back about 17 yards or so. Shotgun snap, back to pass. Throwing on his back leg, out to the left flat, overthrows the receiver out here on the near left sideline in front of the Cleveland bench. That was Saur Armendariz, the intended receiver, but no chance to come up with that one.
Yeah, once again, Cleveland storming him with a blitz, was able to disrupt that one just a little bit. Was unable to get on his right foot, and he threw it off his back foot instead, and just sailed a little bit over Sal Armendariz's hands, and unfortunately to the ground.
Of course, last week they whipped up, or the week before whipped up on Rio Rancho for the district championship. 37-0 did the Storm. So incomplete pass makes it 3rd and 10 from the 32. Back to pass. Pump fake, some pressure coming in the backfield. It looks like the Eagles going to be flopped down in the backfield on this one. About a 7-yard drop in the backfield. So not looking very good on that one, and that's going to bring Callaway out of the game now as the new punt unit's going to return. -7 on that play, and he was just bear-hugged hard. He had a little bit of breathing room for a second, but the Cleveland Storm just converged on him after that.
Yeah, he stayed in the pocket. He was trying to get the pass off, but unfortunately the pocket collapsed around him. He wasn't able to get out in time, and unfortunately that big loss makes it 4th down for the Eagles.
Eagles went on a fake punt on the last one, 4th and short. I doubt they're going to do it here as they're now at their own 25-yard line. A 4th down and 16 for the Eagles. Back at his 10-yard line after man in motion for Hobbs is Brock Beatty. He's going to get it away. Hard shot, caught on the run. Looks like they got a fair catch thing with the last second and kind of breadbasketed it on the catch. Cleveland doing a better job of holding on to the football than the Eagles have been, at least in the second quarter, as the reception by Jaden Davis, and then had the fair catch, so they're going to mark it dead at the 45. So good field position for the Cleveland Storm. That was the 3rd punt of the game for the Hobbs Eagles. And now the defense has got to step out again and try to stop it from going to mercy roll. It's 31-0 Cleveland with 7:42 left, 3rd quarter.
It's already bad enough that they're facing the Storm. They don't need to face against the time clock as well.
Cleveland will send 4 receivers left, nobody on the right side, and by himself is Hatch in the backfield. Takes the shotgun snap, stays flat-footed, throws it in the left flat, caught at the 45, and brought down to the 50-yard line, a 5-yard pickup, and there's a flag on the far left sideline where the catch was made.
Yeah, I was going to say there's a difference in quarterback now. Jaden Davis is in.
He's a receiver, too.
Yeah. He's a cornerback. He's a senior, and he is in for the quarterback for the Cleveland Storm now.
Waiting to see what the penalty call is here. Connection was made for 5 yards to Jordan Hatch, who was actually the quarterback. He was the one out of receiver on that left side. But that's going to come back, though, against Cleveland.
Yes. So instead of a positive gain, it's going to go back.
Call hold, I believe.
Yep.
And that was about 5 yards ahead of the line of scrimmage, but so 10-yard penalty for Cleveland on that one. That's only their second penalty of the game. The other one was a kick out of bounds on a kickoff in the second quarter. So haven't damaged themselves on making bad mistakes except that hold there back at the 40, making the 39 now in Cleveland territory. And that's going to bring up a first down and 16 now for the Storm, who lead 31-0 here in the third, 7:34 remaining. Hobbs with 4 in the front box defensively, 4 receivers right for Cleveland, and Hatch by himself in the backfield, unless they're going to keep with their guy that we just had in the receiver. He's going to dash his way over to the 40, tries to push off for another defender to the 45, and gets back to the original line of scrimmage, so at least 5 there. Not sure where he quite went out of bounds.
Yeah, that's Jaden Davis.
Again. Yeah, he's going to get 8 on that play. So 8 yards for Davis.
So they got half the 16 that they needed back for 2nd and 8.
So they've moved this Davis kid, who is a cornerback, does play receiver as well, to quarterback with a Q. I believe they're going to keep him in there once again.
Yes, they are. Looks like they're going to keep with him.
4 receivers right, Davis in the backfield, and 1 right side halfback. They flip it around the left end from right to left to the 50, out to the far left, and falling forward to the 47-yard line. That's Boyha coming back with a carry there. He's going to get, looks like 6 on the play. He's got a big run for a touchdown here in the third quarter for 53 yards, and a total in this half of 67 yards, which makes it 151 for the game, well over his season average, 120-plus game to game. It'll be 3rd down and 2 now for Cleveland. They did have that holding penalty, so they haven't got a first down yet. They're at the Eagle 47. Trips right, receiver left, shotgun, Davis, delay handoff around the right end, Babaha to the 50, heads outside, but he's brought down by the knees. He'll lose about a yard. Eagles with a quick read that time, and getting in there, the linebacker for the Hobbs Eagles, Dale Madsen, and he just went right for the knees. We talked about that at halftime. That's where you got to go, that or at least the waist, but not the feet or the shoulders.
Exactly. But what you don't want to do is just try to hit him to knock him down, because that doesn't work at all.
So I guess they gave him no gain. He fell forward, so he got back to the line of scrimmage that time.
Yeah, 4th and short, 4th and 2. And now, will the Cleveland Storm go for it? I mean, they might as well. I mean, they could go ahead and kick it. They've got nothing to lose. They got nothing to gain either, but looks like they are going to go for it.
Well, the defense held them on punt on the last possession. Almost got it off the fake punt for the Eagles before that. Trips left, receivers no to the right side. The direct snap to Davis, heads around the left end of the 50, gets a block in the back. There's the flag to the 45. And yes, there's going to be a call against Cleveland on this one. He would have got the first down, so they're going to have to take the penalty with the Eagles. That is about a 4-yard pickup. The direct snap to Davis, who just came in at quarterback a few plays back. And that's got to be at least a 10-yard penalty on this one.
Bryson Oliva was the one that did knock him out of balance, but like you said, there's a hold, so it probably wouldn't have counted for a forward anyway.
A block in the back on that one, yeah. They clipped him way off to the left side of the extension on the run there. So 10-yard penalty for Cleveland. Third penalty of the game, 29 yards total. And now Cleveland is going to punt it. They're going to bring the unit out on the field because they're still facing a 4th down situation.
Yeah, 4th and very long. Looks like 4th and 12 if they count that 10 off. So, yeah, it's definitely going to be a situation where Cleveland wants to go ahead and punt the ball because they, if it was 4th and short, I know they would go for it, but this long away, they're not.
Referee backs it up even more. 4th and 14 now to the 41 back in Cleveland territory, but they do lead 31-0. 5:22 left, third quarter, and now they're moving over to the right hash. They're at the left side and move it to the right. They are going to be in the punt formation. And their punter has a very half of his shirt is off the stomach here, so he is showing a full stomach at this point. Imagine the ball hits that hard. That's going to be a double over guaranteed. He's back at the 28-yard line waiting for the snap. Good snap. Kick is up, and it's going to be dropping at the 20. Takes a roll on the left side. Eagles going to backpedal away from it and getting the heck out of the way for the Eagles. Didn't want to touch that one as Jeremiah Hawkes. But Cleveland able to track it down at the 6-yard line. Bunch of blue jerseys around that time to make the tap down. And finally put down on the turf there by Brendan Cochran. So Hobbs going to have to go long distance on this one, about 94 yards. They trail 31-0 with 5:12 remaining. I know you keep wanting to see the passing game open up a little bit, but it's been kind of dismal up to this point as the Eagles really have not had a good chance to connect. They're 4 of 9 so far with a total of 8 yards.
Yeah, being so close to the end zone, I don't see it happening anytime soon. They're definitely going to have to run it to get out of that shadow of the end zone, because they definitely don't want to have a safety on their hands.
Cleveland added another lineman to the defensive front with 4. Usually have 3. The handoff in the backfield. Armendariz, you mentioned the run game, but that's not the kind of run they want. Started on the 6 and it's dropped back to the 2, a -4 on that one. A big swarm from that Cleveland front.
Yeah, exactly. And just like that, it is a much closer to the end zone on the wrong side for the Hobbs Eagles. They definitely want to get out of that shadow. Like I said, that is not the way to do it, though. You got to move forward, not back.
Second down, actually they're going to say 3-yard loss on that play. So second down and 13 now for the Eagles at the 3. Back in shotgun in the end zone, Callaway, 2-step drop, steps up, sees an opening to the left side to the 5 to the 10, make it the 9 as his knee went down first.
Yep.
And that's going to be a 6-yard pickup for Callaway. He's still trying to get above the 0 mark in this game. He's had a total of 5 carries, -1 right now. He's been dropped twice for -16. Now at the 9-yard line, it'll be a 3rd down and 8. Actually going to mark it at the 10.
Yeah, but either way, it was positive yards at least, so they're moving forward, but they still need a lot more to go to get that first down.
They got an update on that Las Cruces game. Las Cruces High upsetting Centennial 31-21 in the second half down in Las Cruces. That would be a big upset, although those two are arch rivals from the same town. Twins right, receiver left. Back to passes Callaway out of the shotgun on the post route. A high shot to the 30, but overthrows his receiver high in the air. Hawkes went up as high as he could on the helium throw, but he went up in the air about the 32, and the ball is up high about 20 feet above his outreached hand, and he was open to that delayed post route there, but unfortunately overthrown.
Yeah, and it would have been a nice first down for the Hobbs Eagles. Would have continued to move the ball down the field, but unfortunately now with 4th down and such a short distance to the other end zone, they're definitely going to have to kick this one away to get more breathing room.
The worst part is it's going to back up their punter about halfway into the end zone, and hopefully a good snap for him as Beatty is back there about 2 yards from the back line.
Yeah, it has to be direct. Can't be over his head.
Cleveland is going to try to field from the 43 of the Hobbs Eagles, so already in Hobbs Eagle territory. They're going to keep moving up their return man here. They bring a man in motion. Hawkes right to left. Snap is low. Beatty will get it away 2 yards deep in the end zone. End over end. He'll take a bounce at the Eagle 40. Scooped up at the 45. That's Davis. Comes around to the far left sideline. 45, 40, 35. Sideline 30, 25, 20 as he tries to cut back to the 19. Big return for him, about a 35-yard return. And already in the red zone for Cleveland. That's something that was a problem in the second quarter. Too many chances to get easy scores with 30 yards or less.
And, yeah, less than 20 yards to go. I mean, Cleveland doesn't need any more help than they can already have. And that is definitely going to be something easy. Now, we've seen it twice before where they've lost the ball in the area. But, you know, that doesn't automatically happen. So, yeah, Hobbs is definitely going to have to stop them from scoring and be able to see what they can do, maybe even set them up for another field goal.
4 punts, 4 turnovers, 2 fumbles, and 2 INTs for the Eagles has definitely been the death knell so far in this game. 1st and 10 from the 19-yard line. Going into the Hobbs Eagles side of the field, the handoff up the middle. And I think Davis has remained. Nope, they bring back their starter. Hatch gives to Mumbaha up front, and he gets up the guts. And he'll get a couple of yards on that one. 2-yard pickup on that one from Mumbaha. Clock will continue to run with 3:12 remaining here in the third quarter. Listening live to Hobbs Eagle Playoff Football, the quarterfinals in Rio Rancho, New Mexico tonight. Cleveland up 31-0, clock to 3 minutes at the third quarter. 17-yard line for Cleveland, 2nd down and 8. Twins right, 1 receiver left. Hatch waiting for the shotgun, a low snap. We're going to hand the ball around the left end. Trying to advance out to the 20, but going down behind the line of scrimmage. Not much gain on that play. Not going to get back to the line of scrimmage, actually. I believe they have a new running back. Been starting to get those handoffs now. No, it is Mubaha. He got it again, but he's -1 behind the line.
And that was Cameron Hernandez, who brought him down first for the Hobbs Eagles.
Unfortunately not a sack, because he gets one more. He's got a school record for sacks this season, and I believe it was at 6.5, I think, on the last stat sheet we had. There was an injury on the far left sideline, and looks like it is going to be a Hobbs Eagle that is down. As training staff out there right now are trying to track a number on that.
Yeah, there's a lot of bodies over there.
Hate to jump the gun. I know it's a 2 on the front number there, but can't see the second number. Of course, we got those lemon numbers here that are hard to read from a distance. Looks like he's going to have to leave the game.
Yep, he is for a moment anyway, for one play.
Is that Armendariz? It might be 23. No, it is McPherson.
McPherson back on the he just came back from a couple of games missed because of injury. Now he's slightly injured again, although it does look like he's able to come back after the next play.
Third down and 11. Ball will be at the 19, making the 20-yard line of the Eagles. Rolling right is Hatch. He wants to throw. He has 3 receivers in the flood route. Throws a comeback route to the 5-yard line and spun out of bounds. So that's going to go from the 19 down to the 3-yard line. And that's the guy that had a lot of catches in the first half, Weddle. He's going to get 16 on that one. That's his 6th catch for 85 yards. And that's the 13th reception out of 19 attempts so far for Cleveland. That'll also be their 13th first down. Clock is not going to help out the Eagles at this point. 2:23 remaining in the third, although that did stop the clock as he got out of bounds. Trips left, very bunched up formation near the line of scrimmage on the left side. One receiver right. Hatch waiting for shotgun. With Mbaha, he's going to throw it out to the left flat, about the 4-yard line. A catch is made, but hit hard quickly. Davis is the man who comes up with that one. Got nailed in the back as he came down with the football. I believe that's the cornerback that got the shot on him, Manuel Murillo from Hobbs, and that'll be a 1-yard pickup.
Yeah, it was definitely a nice slowdown, definitely a score stopper. Otherwise, if Cleveland had that, would have definitely have been able to waltz in for a touchdown.
Second down and goal now from the 4 on the left hash for Cleveland, heading into the end zone here with 1:50 and counting. Taking a lot more time in their huddles, too, as Coach Scarza knows with this big lead. I just want to keep that clock running, not to give more time for Hobbs to work their offense.
Yeah, we got a third quarter score. Rio Rancho 38, Sandia nothing. They're getting blanked after the 3 quarters.
Yep, that's a number 5 seed upsetting a number 4 in Albuquerque. Man in motion right to left is Weddle. Trips left, receiver right. They'll throw it to the left side of the end zone. There's a man waiting at the pylon, and that will be a 4-yard touchdown strike for Cleveland.
Yeah, and it was an easy catch and run in. All he had to do was turn around and go 2 steps, and he was in the end zone for another pass and another touchdown for the Cleveland Storm.
And that was Weddle once again, his second TD catch of the game. That one for 4. He had one in the first half for 14. And we have met the mercy roll numbers. 37 is what it is right now in terms of the score. 37-0 in favor of Cleveland. And waiting for Quinones to do the PAT here. Good snap, kick is up, and the kick is good. 1:24 left here in the third. Hobbs trailing Cleveland 38-0 here in a very cold Rio Rancho. We'll take a quick 30-second break, come back with more Hobbs Eagle football on the Hobbs Eagle Network.
The people who care at RMS Foods Incorporated in Hobbs would like to take this special time out to recognize and salute the men and women in uniform who are standing tall for our political and economic freedom around the globe. Let's remember them in our thoughts, prayers, and letters from home. That's from RMS Foods Incorporated, where they say service isn't just a courtesy, it's a commitment. For more information, call 575-397-1908. That's 575-397-1908 for RMS Foods Incorporated at 817 North Grimes Street in Hobbs.
We're back here in Rio Rancho. Your Hobbs Eagles trailing 38-0 to the Cleveland Storm. Ty friend Ron Gunner with you, and Tiffany Stuber back at the station. Ron, you got another score update for us in the playoffs tonight.
I sure do. Roswell just rolled over Mayfield after 3 quarters. It is 15-0. Mercy rule ending for that one.
That was at the Wool Bowl, and of course we had Las Cruces upsetting Centennial by 10 going into the fourth quarter there. Big game going on in Las Cruces. Lots of the other playoff games are big-time blowouts at this point, though. And again, Sandia getting shut out, and they're the number 4 seed, being beaten badly by Sandia at number 5.
Yeah, Rio Rancho coming up big, 38-0.
Onside kick takes a bounce over the Hobbs Eagles. It's fumbled at the 30. Cleveland diving on it. Still loose, though, at the 28-yard line on the near sideline. These kicks continue to come to the Storm sideline. Cleveland's pointing towards the end zone. They want the ball. They're going to get it. Hobbs has fumbled again on a kickoff return. And the man coming up with it for the Storm, raising it up like the Statue of Liberty, Malachi Hermilio. And that will be another fumble for the Hobbs Eagles. That is their third fumble of the game, 2 interceptions for 5 turnovers. That's not how you win a quarterfinal game.
No, it is not. Too many turnovers. Definitely, we thought they could clean it up in the second half, but unfortunately they did not. So once again, it is untimely. They are on the wrong side of the field. Hobbs has got to defend once again with 29 yards to go before they can get a touchdown for the Storm, and it's already mercy rule as it is. So everything's going against Hobbs at this point.
1 minute left in the third. The mercy rule clock is underway. Receiver left, one right as well. Hatch is in shotgun and has Mabaha right behind him. Man in motion right to left. Lines up now on the left side of the line, actually a slot back. Delay snap. Here's Hatch. 3-step drop. Stays back at the 36. Fires down the right side corner of the end zone. Backpedaling catch. Waiting for the ball into his gut was Jaden Davis. He was backpedaling. Middle of the end zone. Facing his quarterback. The defender got caught. And that's going to be a touchdown on that one. 29 yards to Davis for the touchdown. His first score of the game.
Yeah, just like that. Once again, one play. And Cleveland scores once again. Makes it a little even tougher for Hobbs to come back and be able to get it under the mercy rule, since now it is a 2-score affair. And so far, Hobbs has had trouble just getting 1 score to be able to get back into this game.
In fact, they're just about 5 points away after the PAT of getting the game over with the mercy rule 50. Good snap. The kick is up, and it's good for Quinones. 40 seconds left in the third quarter. 45-0. Mercy rule continues here in Rio Rancho. Back at 30 on your Hobbs Eagle Network.
For all your grocery specials, shop Thriftway and La Tienda in Hobbs. The best deals in fresh produce, fresh meat, and vegetables, frozen and dairy, health and beauty, and so much more. With the friendliest and most knowledgeable staff, Thriftway and La Tienda. For all your grocery specials, come on down to La Tienda, 400 East Marland, and Thriftway, 1317 North Turner in Hobbs. Best of luck, Eagles, from all of your friends at Thriftway and La Tienda grocery stores.
45-0 your score. Cleveland has taken the lead big here with 40 seconds left. Third quarter. It is a mercy rule situation. 5 more points away from the mercy rule, but that has happened before. Hobbs getting blown out a few years back in the playoffs.
Yeah, it was back in 2013. It was their first playoff game against Cleveland. It was a 54-0 loss to the Cleveland Storm.
Of course, Cleveland's won the last 3 6A state championships. Definitely a team to be reckoned with. Probably would have another one, but at mercy rule, the COVID pandemic shut down 1 year of championships here in the state of New Mexico. So that was not a year they played one in 2020. Ready for the kickoff here for Cleveland. They keep it on the ground. It's another onside kick. It's loose again at the Eagle 46-yard line, and Cleveland has recovered it another time. This is becoming deja vu ugly here in Rio Rancho. Hobbs just cannot hold on to the football. Of course, the Eagles don't face some of the colder temperatures up here in the Rocky Mountains here in the central north part of the state. But that has been fumble after fumble on the special teams. The Eagles have 4 fumbles now. I think 3 of those have been on the special teams, I believe.
It has been, and, that was another one of those short, whether you call it a pooch kick, an onside kick, either way, it should have been handled properly. It looked like it was for half a second, but it got away from them, and Cleveland was all over it once again. So they're back on offense one more time.
At the Hobbs Eagle 47-yard line on the right hash. Hatch is back in shotgun. Trips left, receiver right. High snap, hands it off up the middle. Mbaha breaks a tackle to the 41-yard line, head right to the turf after he got across the line of scrimmage a few yards up ahead. And looks like he's got 6. And he just, the helmet drilled. Actually, they had a new running back in there. That was Isaiah Yanis. Yanis will get, looks like he's got 6 on the play, and that will end the third quarter as the Hobbs Eagles really having some trouble in terms of holding onto the football on the special teams. 12 minutes left in this ball game. It could be less than that. It's 45-0. 5 more points. It'll be game over for Cleveland. We'll be back in 30 seconds on HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, the KOOL 95.7 Facebook page, and on the radio at KOOL 95.7.
Is your cost of rent through the roof? It might make sense to buy a home instead. If you are still renting and never thought you could afford a home, right now you may want to call your friends at Robinson & Associates. Robinson & Associates offers free consultations in English and in Spanish. Robinson & Associates want to guide you through the entire process and make it as simple as possible. Call Robinson & Associates today at 392-0266. That's 575-392-0266. Call Robinson & Associates today and let them earn your trust.
We're getting started here in Rio Rancho. Very cold, frigid temperatures going on. No precipitation in this game, but unfortunately the Eagles suffering from some turnovers, 4 fumbles at this point. Cleveland football, second down and 4 from the 41 of the Eagles. Hand up to Mumbaha. He heads right, gets somersaulted near the right hash. Needed to get to the 37. Actually, that's Giannis again. That'll be a 3-yard pickup, and they might have given him a little bit more forward progress, close to a first down for Giannis. His second carry came in from a Bahaha here. Nope, they're giving him 4, so he'll move the chains. 10 yards on the ground for Giannis. That'll be the 14th first down for the Cleveland Storm, now at the Hobbs Eagle 37-yard line.
And it won't be a couple more before they can end this game on a mercy rule if they score one more time.
Twins left, 2 receivers right. A little delay here as Hatch trying to get last-second discussion with his receivers on both sides of the football. Waiting for the snap count here. Handoff. Giannis going to head up the gut and just takes a guy on his back with him for the Hobbs Eagle defense. That's going to be Giannis again. And that's about 4 for him on that as the clock continues to run mercy rule style. 45-0 as Cleveland leads the number 1 seed over the number 8. That's going to bring up a second down and 7, gain of 3 on the play for Giannis, now with 3 carries for 13 yards, all here in the 4th. Hobbs Eagles with that 6-5 record coming in after a big mercy rule win last week over Clovis. Of course, that 50 mark that they got, 50-13 the final on that one. A mercy rule 37-point win. Second down and 7 from the Eagle 34 for the Storm. Twins left, receiver 1 to the right. High snap. Hatch will hand it off. No, he fakes it, pulls it back, throws a shot to the goal line at the right side of the end zone, but overthrows his receiver who was diving for it. That would have been a 34-yard touchdown connection there, but just a little bit overthrown. And a little bit of trickery that time, was handed off and pulled back out of the gut of his running back, Giannis, that time. And double-checking to see who that far receiver on the right up the Hobbs Eagle sideline was, diving towards the goal line, trying to make the catch Superman style. Try to get that guy for you here in just a second. Luckily, running to our side of the field now. That was number 17, Angel Gallegos. Incomplete pass on that one. They are now 14 of 21 in the ball game in the passing department. Third down and 7. Rolling left after the shotgun. Hatch is going to throw it on the out route, but his receiver went on a post. He threw it to a ghost out route on the 25-yard line. Takes a bounce on the turf. Now, he's not going to get an intentional grounding. He was outside the blocking zone that time, and you're able to throw it out. And that ball did go across the line of scrimmage, so incomplete regardless. A miscommunication on the pass routes that time. All the receivers heading inside, and he just threw it out to the 24. Actually, there was one coming from the flat, but that was not the intended receiver out there.
Couldn't tell exactly who it was, but he was being rushed or challenged by a Hobbs player, and he had to get rid of the ball before he was tackled.
So that brings up a 4th down and 7 from the Eagle 34. Clock to 9:05 remaining with the mercy rule clock running. 35 is the mercy rule, but 45 was on the scoreboard for the Storm. Trips left, receiver right for the Blue squad. As Hatch back in shotgun with Giannis. Eagles going to bring 6 on the front. The scramble coming, and now he'll be brought down. Eagles bringing a couple of guys in the backfield on the blitz. And I'm
Tristan Davis.
Yeah, Tristan Davis. He was throwing his fist in the air after that drop of the quarterback, who had no chance to get out of that mess.
So they got a little victory on that one. Plus, they got the turnover. So Hobbs has the ball back. 8:30 is what the time is. So they have a lot of. They don't have a lot of time to get that score under 35 to be able to get this back into a reasonable, or at least a manageable time.
-6 on that great play for Davis. Make it the Eagle football on a turnover on downs. Hobbs going to go back with the shotgun. Callaway back to pass. Pump fake. Tucks it. Going to head right now up the middle. 40, 45, 50 into Cleveland territory. He's going to get a first down plus a couple more. Looks like 13 for Owen Callaway. As Callaway now trying to get himself in the positive numbers. He is at 0. He's been trying to get across that 0 threshold for quite a bit of the game. 6 carries for 0 yards at this point. He gets a negative, then adds a good positive run. Negative because he's getting swamped in the backfield a few times. But that'll be the 6th first down for the Eagles at the Cleveland 47 on the left hash. Shotgun to Callaway. 3-step drop. Steps up in the pocket. He's going to fire the post route. Intercepted at the Cleveland 32. To the far side, 35, 40, 43, and put down at the 44. Eagles just could not keep a hold of the football in any possession here since about the middle of the second quarter. Another pickoff.
And he had an open receiver just to the left of him in the middle of the field. If Callaway would have seen that, he could have been able to deliver that ball straight to him, and it would have been definitely a first down for Hobbs, or unfortunately a turnover once again. And it just seems like the theme for today is a gift, another gift, plenty of gifts for the Cleveland Storm to be able to score on this game.
Marcus LaQuesta, the INT for Cleveland. That is the 7th turnover, 4 fumbles and 3 interceptions. 1st and 10 for Cleveland at their own 44-yard line, leading 45-0 with 6:40 and ticking here in the 4th. Trips left, 1 receiver right for Cleveland. Shotgun for Brent, or make that Hatch. Waits a little bit, then fires to the right sideline, over the shoulder, and a catch on the run. Did they say he was in bounds? Nope, he's out at the 24 before he could come down with that one.
Yeah, that would have been a big gain for him, and wouldn't have gotten him closer to it. But, yeah, for Weddle.
No, correction, Davis.
All right, so Davis was out of bounds. It looked like he did grab the ball, but, again, his feet were out of bounds, and that was confirmed by the refs.
Yeah, the pass went out to about the 22-yard line. He couldn't get the foot down the way he wanted to. That would have been looks like about a 25, 28-yard pass play there, and might have been in stride for a touchdown of just a little bit of a shorter throw that time. Incomplete, though, and it's now a 2nd and 10 back at the 44-yard line of the Storm. Pair of receivers left and right. Hatch will take some time, brings 1 receiver right to left in the motion. Handoff to Giannis up the middle, heads right to the 50, 45, 40, the hash mark, 35, and brought down at the 34-yard line.
On the carry,
that's going to be 23 for Giannis. All of his carries here in the 4th quarter. He's got 36 yards on the ground now for 9 a pop. And that'll be the 15th first down for the Storm. Quickly on the hurry-up offense to the 33.
Manny Morello was the one that stopped him.
2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Shotgun for Hatch. He's got 1 in the backfield, Giannis. Gives it off to him. He just tries to get up the gap right side of the line. 4-yard pickup for Giannis.
Tristan Davis was the one for the Eagles that got him to stop on that one.
Yeah, linebackers trying to help out and get some helmets in the gaps there to stop the running game. Giannis has been a substitute here in the 4th at the Eagle now 31-yard line. 2nd down and 8.
Plenty of time still, but not for Hobbs.
Twins left, receiver right, shotgun Hatch. Gives Giannis around the right end. Little delay, 30, 25, dragging people with him. Knee might have gone down at the 24, though.
Carry the ball to the outside.
Tristan Davis once again give him the stop.
Giannis with 5 on that one. All positive yards in this 4th quarter for Giannis. 3rd down and about 1.5 yards now at the Eagle 25 on the right hash. Clock down to 4:20 remaining on the mercy rule situation. 45-0 favor of the Cleveland Storm.
Yep. What's going to happen first? The clock's going to run out, or are they going to be able to score?
Twins left, receiver right. Again to Giannis up the middle. The gap, 25, 20, heads left to the 15, extends to the 10, 5. He's got a couple to beat, and he gets plowed down at the 4-yard line. So he went from the 25 to the 4 for a 21-yard pickup and another first down.
4 Hobbs Eagles stopped him on that one, but not before he was able to get a huge gain and also get that first down to boot.
Just getting ready to say there hasn't been many flags in the game, and sure enough, a late flag, but it was way up the field, so maybe, I don't know if that'll be enough for the first down with a 10-yard drop back here. He got all the way down to about the 6, so it depends on where they mark this foul call here. They're backing it up and placing it at the 25, and that might be shy of the first down by about 1 yard. Yep, it is, so that will not be the big play that has started off to be 21 yards. It'll be a 3rd and 1.
Well, I do have a final for you in Sandia. It wasn't even close. 38-6. Rio Rancho beats Sandia badly.
3rd and 1 from the 26-yard line. Back to shotgun goes Hatch. He sent 2 receivers right, 1 to the left side. Good snap to Giannis. Gets tripped up in the backfield. Ankle sweep that time as getting right through that gap to make the sweep on the play for the Hobbs Eagles. Great read on that one by Cameron Hernandez.
Yes, indeed. Didn't get the sack, but did get that one, and was able to stop another first down for for Cleveland.
Yeah, if that would have been a sack, that would have been a state or school record, I should say. Yes, 6.5 this season to make it 7.5, but they did hand the football off, so Cleveland dodged a bullet, at least giving away a record there. Right. 4th down and 2 now from the Hobbs Eagle 27. Clock down to 2:25 remaining. 45-0 your score. Trips right, receiver left. Hatch will take the snap back of the 36. Fires a quick slant route pass, and it's hard shot. The receiver wasn't even ready for it at the 20, and sails past his helmet. He kind of put his hands up in the air like, hey, who you throwing to on that? When intended receiver was Angel Gallegos. And that'll be an incomplete pass, so that'll turn over on downs for the second time in this ball game. So Hobbs will get the last hurrah, the last possession probably of the game with 1:50 in counting, even with the incomplete pass and the turnover with the ball to the Eagles. The clock is running at this point. They'll have it at their own 24-yard line. Trailing again, 45-0.
Diaz Castro was on that defensive stop.
Actually moving the ball up to the 26-yard line. Pair of receivers left and right. Back to shotgun is Callaway. He has Armendariz right next to him with the right shoulder. Bad snap low. Hand off to Armendariz. Trying to head left. Breaks a tackle. Another tackle, 30. And pulls his body down to the 32-yard line. Looks like about 6 or 7 on that one, depending on where they marked his knee down.
Yeah, and Cleveland can let them run all day long. You know, it's not going to slow them down any, or it's not going to hurt them by giving up a few yards.
Armendariz with only 2 yards in the second half on 3 carries, but a lot of turnovers for the Eagles. 2nd down and 4 for the Hobbs Eagles. Shotgun back to Callaway. Back at the 25. Fires on the post route. Caught at the 50. No, it's through the fingertips. Held on for just a second, but could not come up with a reception to Amarian Kennedy for the Hobbs Eagles, unfortunately. And that will not stop the clock on the incomplete, though.
Exactly. Now it's down to 45 seconds. Time is, of course, as always, a factor for this one.
Eagles are 4 of 11 in this ball game for 8 yards in the passing department. 3rd down and 14 for Hobbs at their own 31. Shotgun, handoff to the right side to the 35, to the 40. Armendariz, 45, gets a block, 50, 40 of Cleveland, and shoved out of bounds. He'll get the first down and a bunch more.
Yeah, but even though he went out of bounds, the clock still keeps going. It's down to 17 seconds.
Let's see. I'm going to give at least 29. Looks like they make it 30 instead. So Armendariz gets a 30-yarder. Best of the second half for sure. And the best of the game, the longest he's run. First down for the Eagles. They're 7th at the 37-yard line. Back to pass. There's going to be a quick shot down the middle. Seam route intercepted at the 11-yard line for Cleveland.
Yeah.
And that will run out the clock to finish the ball game. Clock expires here. That will be the 8th turnover for the Eagles. 4 interceptions and 4 fumbles. The final score, 45-0, as Cleveland picks up the win here in the quarterfinals, and they'll continue to be the number 1 seed as they'll move on in the playoffs, and will take on Rio Rancho. Big matchup here in Rio Rancho next week, as Rio Rancho spanking Sandia in Albuquerque tonight. We'll get you caught up on all the other games that have occurred tonight, but the final again, 45-0, Cleveland over the Hobbs Eagles. We'll take a 3-minute break, come back with the Hobbs Eagle postgame show on KOOL 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and the KOOL 95.7 Facebook page.
Eunice Pump and Supply has been around for over 30 years and is excited to continue their services to the community. They take pride in their employees and their hard work and dedication, and most importantly, take pride in the youth of Lee County. Eunice Pump and Supply is a proud supporter of all Lee County athletics and academics. Eunice Pump and Supply, 1310 Avenue O in Eunice, another proud supporter of Lee County athletics.
Hobbs Rental wants to wish Lee County student-athletes the best of luck as they take on challenges and experience success. The team of Hobbs Rental wants you to know that teamwork is everything. Hobbs Rental provides complete valve service, relief valve, vent valve, and thief hatch maintenance. VR certified and ISN approved. When you need the job done right the first time, call Hobbs Rental at 393-3085. Go Eagles!
High school sports build character and responsibility. That's why Albertsons Market congratulates and encourages the Hobbs Eagles in their quest for a state basketball championship, saying, "We're behind you all the way. Go Eagles!" You too can show your support for the Hobbs Eagles with Hobbs Eagles Black and Gold apparel. A large selection of Eagles shirts and caps to choose from at your Hobbs Albertsons Market. You're in for something fresh at Albertsons Market, corner of North Grimes and Bender. Do you go back and forth about a good place to eat? Well, Outlaw Grill has you covered. Outlaw Grill guarantees to hit the spot every single time. If you want a good mouth-watering burger or a steak, they have it. Seafood or pasta, Outlaw has it. And don't forget to check out Bigadame's Pizzeria just down the street for the best pizza. Place your order today. Outlaw Grill and Bigadame's Pizzeria.
We know that you want to make the most out of your time. At Lee County State Bank, we believe banking should be quick and easy. That's why we're proud to provide video banking to our customers. Save time and a trip to the bank and meet with a video banker instead. Getting started is easy. Download the LCSB Connect app, create a profile, bank from anywhere. Not a customer yet? No problem. You can use a video banking app to open an account too. Download the app today and start banking from anywhere.
Visit online lcsb.com. Lee County State Bank, member FDIC.
TDS Internet makes our everyday smarter, whether working and playing, laughing and sharing, living and learning. It's all better with TDS Internet because it's faster, more reliable. It's internet that makes a difference. For home, for business, for life. Say hello to internet that hits different. Say hello to TDS. Visit hellotds.com today. Subject to availability, see website for details.
Congratulations, students and student athletes of Lee County. R360 congratulates all Jal, Eunice, Hobbs, Lovington, Tatum, and the surrounding high schools, and wishes the best of luck to our student athletes competing this week in state playoffs. Right now, R360.
Lasco Construction is a proud partner in education in Lee County. Lasco Construction is your hometown construction company. Lasco Construction encourages you and business owners to support Tatum, Jal, Lovington, Eunice, and Hobbs businesses. Buy as much as you can locally, which is why Lasco Construction always supports the youth of Lee County. Lasco Construction supports you. Call 393-9161 for all your construction needs. Support your community.
Back live here in Rio Rancho, the Cleveland Storm winning this one big, 45-0 over the Hobbs Eagles, as Hobbs will finish their season at 6-6. Of course, 1-1 in the playoffs with a big win last week, 50-17 over Clovis. Again, that was a Mercy Rule victory for the Hobbs Eagles, 50-13, I should say. Unfortunately, tonight, the Mercy Rule win for the Cleveland Storm. That means they will play their arch rival, Rio Rancho, next week. That game is at Rio Rancho High because they owe them in the playoffs, so that will be here in Rio Rancho, but at the Rams Stadium there. That should be a pretty big game. I do know that I believe you just told me that Centennial on the comeback in Las Cruces tonight, right?
Exactly, they are, and it's looks pretty close, too. 34-31 is the fourth quarter score. Centennial just put up 7 on Las Cruces, so we're gonna watch that and see if we can get it before the end of this, of course, post game.
So Cleveland plays Rio Rancho in the one semifinal, and of course La Cueva was hurting Farmington pretty bad earlier too.
Yes.
So it's going to be La Cueva versus either Las Cruces or Centennial for that other semifinal.
Exactly. It looks like La Cueva is going to beat Farmington. That's pretty much a given. But we haven't gotten the final score on that one either.
So that's the playoff situation. Unfortunately, the Hobbs Eagles will end the season at this quarterfinal game in Cleveland, and that's their 8th time that they played this series matchup, the 4th playoff game against Cleveland, correct?
Correct, yeah. They're 0-7. The worst they had, again, was 54-0. Got close to that one tonight, 45-0. But they did have a couple years ago where it was 49-24. Hobbs was able to score a little bit in that game, but unfortunately just wasn't able to get, in most cases, what happens is Hobbs is usually either 8th or 9th, and Cleveland is ranked number 1 this time around. Of course, they definitely use that number 1 ranking in their favor, and were able to play the way they should, the way everybody knows they can, especially, like I said, with them being in the playoffs. The last couple of years, they've been champions. In fact, they've got their record of 20-7 in the playoffs. Now it's 21-7, and it's hard to beat a team that has known for years how to win games.
Well, let's look at their numbers in this ball game. Mbaha was the top rusher for Cleveland, triple digits, 25 carries, 152 yards in the game. He had 2 touchdowns, a 53-yarder in the second half and a 4-yarder in the first half. So big game and season for him, averaging 120 a contest, 152 tonight in the win. Giannis, who came into the fourth quarter, had 8 carries for 47 yards. Those are the only 2 guys that were in positive yardage on the ground, at least. Hatch, the quarterback, was 3 for -4, so the Eagles did get in against him several times and dropped him in the backfield. In fact, -13 in the backfield for Hatch. Actually, he was -6 overall in terms of stats in this ball game. So the rushing game, 193 yards, just shy of 200 for the Cleveland Storm. Passing department, lots of guys getting some grabs in this game. Weddle was the big one with 7 catches for 89 yards. He had 2 touchdowns, 14 and 4 yards, 1 in each half. His long was 25 in the first half. Well ahead the leader in terms of pass reception yardage there with 89. Davis had 2 catches for 30 yards, including a 29-yard touchdown reception. Mubaha came out of the backfield with 2 catches for 16 yards. Lyles had a catch for 12 yards. Gallegos 3 for 21, and LaCuesta 1 for 18. In terms of passing, Hatch 16 of 26 for a total of 186 yards in the air. The total yards for Cleveland, 379, 193 in the run, 186 in the pass unofficially, and a total of 15 first downs in this game for the Cleveland Storm. They turned over on downs twice, had 2 fumbles in the first half on turnovers, and only 3 penalties for 29 yards. A pretty clean game in terms of the handkerchiefs for both teams in this contest. Looking at your Hobbs Eagles, of course, didn't have the ball much on offense due to the 8 turnovers, 4 fumbles, and 4 interceptions. They did manage 94 yards in rushing, 82 of those from Armendariz, 16 carries for 82 yards. Unfortunately, did not get into the end zone in this game. Did have a long of 30 in the second half. Only carried the ball 4 times in the second half, by the way, due to most of those turnovers, and had another big carry for 20 in the first half, 13 and 12 as well for carries in that first half for Armendariz. Callaway, 6 carries for 12 yards. He had a long of 13 in the second half. In fact, one other guy getting a carry was Tristan Davis, I believe. We were trying to get the number on that. They did a fake punt, a quick snap right near the line of scrimmage. I believe it was him that got the 2 yards they needed for the first down. So he gets 4 yards in his name in the contest. So Hobbs finishing with 94 yards in the rush game. Passing department just wasn't working tonight. They were 4 of 11 for a total of 10 yards. Their low of the season. So Hobbs finishes with 104 yards of total offense in this game. But again, plagued with turnovers, 4 fumbles and 4 interceptions. Just not going to get the job done when those numbers are going in that direction. 7 first downs for the Eagles, most of those in the first half of action. Hobbs with just 3 penalties in the game for 13 yards as well. And that pretty much wraps up the numbers for the Eagles in this contest. But again, I hate being a dead horse, but 8 turnovers is not going to get you a win in the quarterfinals.
It is. It's more than insurmountable. It is downright difficult to be able to get back after 8. I mean, I've seen it once in a while, but it doesn't happen very often, and it definitely doesn't happen against a team that can click on all cylinders like this Cleveland Storm can. But I do have an update for you real quick. Just a moment ago, Las Cruces, the Bulldogs, were able to score on a rushing touchdown, got the lead back again. There's less than 5 minutes to go in the game. It's 38-34. Las Cruces up, and it's a back-and-forth game, so you don't know for sure if Centeno can come back and make another score to see what happens. So far, Las Cruces in the lead on that one.
Well, let's take a look at the roster of seniors that are leaving us this season in terms of graduation. And Jeremiah Hawkes, of course, a stellar receiver for the Hobbs Eagles, went in motion, got a lot of reverse plays on the running game, but definitely the top receiver for this team, going to be sorely missed. Carlos Jimenez, we've said his name quite a few times tonight, very tough defensive back for the Hobbs Eagles this season. The starting quarterback, Owen Callaway, again, didn't start the season, but came in about the 4th game and started picking up the snaps and finish up the rest of the season as the starting quarterback and definitely the leader on this team this year. A real cool kid, too. I mean, knows how to be coached and take what he needs and goes forward. So definitely going to miss him, but he has to have a backup that'll be stepping up next year. Beatty getting one more season for the Hobbs Eagles. On down the list for seniors, Bryson Avila. He came up tonight, cornerback for the Hobbs Eagles. Also, a couple other guys on the roster this year. Justin Black, one of the top receivers, of course, came back from injury. And, again, about 5 or 6 receivers doing some damage for the Eagles this year. Manuel Murillo, of course, started tonight at CB, cornerback on the defense. He'll, unfortunately, leaving the team with graduation. Glad to see him get his diploma, but hate to see him being missed from the team. Deshaun Franklin, actually, he's a junior, excuse me. Saul Armendariz, what do you have to say about him? Got over the 1,000 mark. I think it's 1,200 this season. Added on what he got tonight. Might have been to 1,300 after what his numbers finished up with the 84 on the ground. But this kid, had a target on his back for much of the season. They knew he was the big-time runner for the Hobbs Eagles and was every game and really put his heart on the line in these contests, especially in a cold one tonight.
Yeah, and he was just really, for most cases, you could say that he was just getting on a roll. He was able to get his stride and was able to get, especially with that 300-yard game, he was doing really well. Got hurt after that, unfortunately, and but did bounce back, was able to get a couple of good games, but unfortunately just could not get another 100-yard run or didn't have enough opportunities to be able to do more yards before he, of course, had his final game.
Coming back from injury tonight, Zayden McPherson said his name a few times, a senior outside linebacker. Again, Hobbs with a very tough linebacking core this season and definitely kept the team in games several times throughout the year. Dale Matson brought him up tonight. A lot of the deep defense for the Hobbs Eagles, free safety, strong safety. Again, a great guy on special teams to work with as well for the Eagles. Cameron Hernandez was 1 sack shy of the school record this year, 6.5 sacks. And again, he did have a drop in the backfield, took somebody down, was the running back, barely handed the ball off to the running back before he was able to wrap somebody up. So if they would have been the quarterback, that would have been his last sack.
Well, it would have been 8.5. It's 8.5 for the season. He needed half a sack at least to get the 9 that he needed for the tie. And 1 sack would have gotten him the 9.5, and that would have given him, of course, the record. But unfortunately, win or lose, he still is in the record book. He's just not number 1.
Of course, when you have a guy like Aiden Kays at your center position, hate to lose those guys. They have that one-on-one relationship with the quarterback to make sure on the good snaps, especially on the shotgun, which Hobbs does about 99% of the time. So, again, that's going to be a position that the Eagles are going to have to rebuild there at the center position. Andrew Torres, a defensive end, really strong kid that likes to get around the end there and take care of business on defense. Zakiah Wad, who defensive tackle we mentioned tonight, too. Special teams kid, also a major part of the defensive line for the Hobbs Eagles. Canyon Johnson, of course, I know his dad real well, a referee for the Hobbs, the referees from the Hobbs Lee County area. Kid is a major coachable, very good to have on the field, a guy that's going to lead your team in momentum and motivation out there. Definitely going to miss him for the defensive end position for the Hobbs Eagles. Oliver Hill, big kid, 300-plus pounds, one of the fastest kids I've ever seen with the bulk that he's got. He will get across that line of scrimmage. Was chasing a quarterback tonight in one of the plays and all over the field against him. And definitely really going to miss Oliver Hill on that defensive line. Josh Ray, one of the offensive guards, had him last year in class at Hobbs High School. A very personable kid, very big on loyalty to his teammates. Big kid that likes to knock people around there on the guard position for the offensive line. Definitely going to miss him next year as well. A couple other seniors, Jesse Chavez played for both sides of the field for the Hobbs Eagles. Oscar Mascarenas, the senior as well, played offensive tackle for the Hobbs Eagles. Again, Eagles have a big, bulky lineup this year on that offensive line, and definitely a very important part of the Hobbs Eagles. And hopefully I didn't miss anybody. We always have to go through these with a fine-tooth comb, and I don't think I did. But if I did, I apologize to anybody out there or family that did not get their child mentioned. We had a few seniors that didn't stay on the team for the full year, so we won't get those names out across. But still, lots of key positions. Like every year, you're going to lose about at least a double-digit number. And, of course, great showing. The Eagles continue to punch their ticket with the playoffs with Coach Stevens, getting a lot of good stuff with the Eunice Cardinals, came over to the Hobbs Eagle program, and is still continue to put out teams in the playoffs. And a big win last week over Clovis.
Exactly, and, yeah, you cannot say anything negative about the team. They have been fighting hard every single year. They get better and better. That's what Coach Stevens exactly wants them to do, is to improve. And also, as he said last week, they enjoyed the game. They were having fun. They were hoping that they could do that again tonight. Unfortunately, though, simply because of the fact of those just unfortunate turnovers, always unfortunate, they were unable to get any traction, get on the field, and make any points on the offense. And the defense was left on their own devices to try to slow down this very high-powered Storm offense.
Semifinals next week. Cleveland here in Rio Rancho to be at the Rio Rancho Rams field. Cleveland versus Rio Rancho. The district championship was the game, 37-0 just 2 weeks ago. It'll be a replay of that semifinal next week. La Cueva, big win over Farmington, but Las Cruces has just come back and defeated Centennial with a major upset there, 7 beating the number 2 team.
Yeah, they were able to get that last rushing touchdown, 5 minutes to go in the game. They were able to hold off Centennial, and the final was 38-34. Las Cruces Bulldogs are continuing on. The Centennial Hawks have been grounded, and they're going to have to wait till next season, just like the Eagles.
Yeah, 2 L.A. teams, La Cueva and Las Cruces. So that'll be an exciting semifinal matchup as well next week. Ron, 45-0 final here. Eagles 6-6 on the season. We've talked a bunch about them, and just looking forward to seeing this program expand like it has been and giving some Hobbs Eagle fans a chance to go on the road and some home games, too, to see their team. But what about the big game tomorrow at 5:30? Hobbs Soccer Boys Championship. How long has it been since they've had a chance to get one?
Since 1996 it is, and that's will be their second championship. 22-0 is what they've gone. They can go one more and go undefeated for the season. All you have to do is just get past number 3, Atrisco Heritage Academy, who is 17-4, and it's going to be a very good one. Although, if you look at the record, which we don't, because this game is going to be 0-0, but unfortunately, Hobbs is 2-3 against Atrisco Heritage Academy. But again, they have not faced this team. This team has put up about 4 points every game. They didn't go. The last game they did was 3, but still, their average is 4 points a game, and you're expecting to see Hobbs come out strong against this Trisco Academy, or Heritage Academy, tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah, good luck to the Hobbs Eagles, and definitely want to bring that trophy back to Lee County, New Mexico, and Hobbs High School. Don't forget, tomorrow we got some playoff games for football to continue with Lee County teams. They have the earlier one, the Lovington Wildcats, the number 1 seed. They will host Espanola. We saw the bus when we were driving through Roswell. They were coming down, so they're staying the night in Lee County, I'm sure. But that game will be at 12:45 pregame. Kickoff at 1 o'clock on KZOR Radio 94.1, HobbsAmerica.com, the YouTube Lovington Sports page, and also the KZOR Facebook page. So definitely catch that game. You also can get the Eunice game, too, in Lee County. They're hosting Tularosa tomorrow. Eunice, the number 1 seed. Again, they will be on the internet in HobbsAmerica.com. YouTube, Eunice, and they will be on a Facebook page as well. But lots of excitement. 2 teams left in Lee County and both the number 1 seeds.
Exactly, and it looks like it's going to be, Lovington has had a big road, or a tough road ahead of them, and they've been doing very well. I think we're going to see them go on to the championship, as well as Eunice. Eunice has played very well this season. Once again, as always, every time you always mention Eunice Cardinals, you always know that they're going to be in there involved in the playoffs, as well as possibly the championship itself.
And boy, what an ugly road trip. Espanola having to come from the northern border of New Mexico and Colorado all the way down to Lovington for tomorrow's game. That's going to be a definite factor for Lovington. And, of course, Tularosa coming from the southwest to come up and play Eunice. And, by the way, Tularosa a tough team. Of course, they've knocked off Jal almost twice this season, lost a close one the first time, and Jal, and then came back and beat Jal in the playoffs. So they are a very tough and fast team.
But it should be a little bit warmer than what they've just left hours earlier. So, yeah, Lovington definitely should be a little bit warmer than what they're used to.
One final thing, too, Hobbs Eagle basketball on the horizon. They will have a scrimmage, the black and gold scrimmages. Coach Reeves just talking to him today, November 25th. That'll be at the Tasker Gym. A bunch of grades going to be playing, including varsity, so that should be some great action during Thanksgiving weekend.
Right.
The 30th, the first game, right? A little bit later than normal, but they're playing in the Friendship Tournament. They canceled the Artesia one, add the Friendship in Texas outside of Lubbock. Lots of big teams there. One team I know Coach was telling me about has about 3 Division I prospects, so he wanted the challenge of playing next door, and they're opening the season over there with teams that usually have 2 weeks under their belt for Texas. That should be an exciting game. 3 Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, November 30th, December 1st and 2nd. That will be the start of the Hobbs Eagles season, so not a very bad road trip for fans that want to see very quality opponents on the road.
Yeah, less than 2 hours away, and it's definitely a shakeup as far as they're getting quality teams, and that's what they want. They want to get the best they can early on, get to test themselves as far as their strength and see what they've got so they can improve with time, and, of course, by then, they can get better and better and finally get into district and start winning games.
Final Score 45-0. Cleveland gets the quarterfinal win, goes to the semifinals next week against Rio Rancho. Your Hobbs Eagles finish up at 6-6. I'd like to thank Tiffany and Evie Stuber throughout the season for backing us up there at the Studio Central there in Hobbs. For Ron Gunner and myself, Ty Friend, don't forget, we will be back with you with basketball November 30th, the Hobbs Eagles. And good luck to the Hobbs Eagles soccer team tomorrow night at 5:30 at UNM Stadium. Have a great rest of a cold weekend out there. We're going to head home to Roswell and Hobbs. Hope we don't get some snow while we're there.
Exactly. Take care.
Thank you for listening to Hobbs Eagle Football on KOOL 95.7. Tonight's game was proudly presented by Eastern New Mexico University, Devon Energy, NMR Pipeline, the Lee County State Bank, and TDS. Hobbs Eagle Football on KOOL 95.7 also brought to you by Horace Tire Company, A-Tech Air Conditioning and Heating, Lasco Construction, the First American Bank of Hobbs, and Divine Energy Services. Hobbs Eagle Football on KOOL 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, and the Hobbs Sports YouTube channel is an exclusive presentation of New Walmart Digital and KOOL 95.7 Sports. Now back to the greatest hits of all time on KLEA Hobbs, KOOL 95.7.